It's terrible. But I hope you can hear me okay. Let's see what we got. Page and a half to fit in the door. I did post this. You can feel free to reference it. But we're going to head out back where everybody's waiting to go inside. Probably should have placed myself kind of up front. I always wonder sometimes. There we go. We're going to head right in. I'm locked up. Hey. I'm pretty sure I'm not just not.
Didn't know it was locked.
Apparently it's still locked, so.
Hi, Kat.
Thank you. Hold on.
Can you make it?
No.
No, when you get set up, you have to stand at attention too, Chip. So that's all there is to it.
There's got to be enough chairs for all that.
Eddie, you remember Chris?
What's up, dude?
Good to see you again.
We'll scare him by sitting right next to Chris.
Turn it on.
January pills, I know a lot of salt. Something wasn't clicked off. So that when she was trying to put it in the meeting, some of the people didn't show up. She couldn't put the
I'm keeping tabs on my daughter's softball game. Well, you don't have to worry. Yeah, they're winning. You don't have to worry about it. She's a little girl. How you doing? Well, I got a 12-year-old and a 10-year-old.
That way?
My boys' game starts at 7:45 tonight.
Just
Ours
set it
starts
down.
at 5:45.
Sit down.
It's amazing this technology is.
Yeah, it's just a noise catcher.
Game changer. Yeah.
Oh my God, stressed. I have 3 days of work left and then I'm retiring.
Oh, congratulations.
And I'm not retiring from this job.
What I found is it's only as good as the person running it sometimes. So if you're the best person.
Everything
The only time
The
lady
Fix that. Just get hairspray, go to the doctor and spray it like that. I'm sorry, what? Hairspray and alcohol.
Is there a seat? I don't mind that. The seat.
We will do a balance sheet as soon as I have verified all of the things first. But right now, the balance sheet would be good with me because there's been transfers between accounts.
It's very
and
nice.
bank balances. I know it's 100% accurate. I took the ran out of time. But within the next 2 weeks, we will have his hands.
Kat, there's a chair here. We want to bring it back there for you? You okay? Okay.
It's okay. They had security on their side.
Yeah, that's right.
So is this actual?
This is actual to expenses. It is not completely.
Call the meeting to order, 7 p.m. Tuesday, June 6th, pledge allegiance to the flag.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call vote, President here, Vice President Bob. Here. Michelle. Cleo.
Here.
Oh, you don't have any extra agenda? Cindy.
Here.
Hank.
Here.
Mansell. Not here. Mayor. Not here. Everybody got a copy of the minutes
Cindy,
from
the solicitor wanted a copy.
May 1st?
Do you have a copy? No. Okay, just check it.
She has a copy, but I'll get you a copy.
I mean, I have my copy.
Yes.
I don't have any extra copies.
Do you have agendas for us?
The agendas are on the door, front and back door.
Yeah, well, you're supposed to provide copies for the audience as well. And the back door is locked.
Well, you can see it through the door.
The back door is locked so people can't get in.
Is there anyone out there? We're good, we can
Yeah,
unlock it.
there is.
Pretty sure.
You were the Allen wrenches or far in?
What's that?
I can turn the key from outside.
Making notes.
How'd everybody do?
Set your door.
Somebody accidentally opened the door and we slipped in.
Buddy just came in at the same time.
No, I got locked out. We can't go
Cat did what?
Al is the perpetrator. I bet you change his mind next time.
Al doesn't usually come. Was the door locked?
No, the door was locked, but there was nobody there.
You just share.
He must have left.
The door shouldn't be locked.
Is the front one open?
Fire hazard.
What if
Review the minutes from May. You have copies of them there?
Do the residents get a copy?
Of the minutes from May?
Yeah.
They're available for the last week or a month on the,
No, they're not. I just checked this morning.
I don't have another copy. You're welcome here. You're welcome to have mine.
Yeah, some of us couldn't get on it. No, I'll try. Shit. Authorize
Mom, now I know where she gets it from.
Right here. They're not there. They're not there. It's not there. There's nothing for 2024 yet. There's nothing.
Well, what is the name of that?
It's Lawrenceville Borough, PA.
Here. Pretty please? Thank you.
Hey, hush it. I just want to make sure you're full of data. She did it. I didn't. You just did what you Lucy? I have to. This is the only way I can. Fire the whole.
Well, it's,
Yeah, there is
the
nothing.
vote, excuse me, the vote is 5
It's
So I had also.
So on the last page of the minutes there, water plant generator grant, there was a motion that was seconded. The roll call votes is not on here. So we need to add the roll call.
it was 5-2 with Cindy and Mansell voting no.
Also the adjournment, you have me voting no for the adjournment. I didn't vote no, I voted yes.
She couldn't wait to leave.
Yeah, I was just reading off what was in the minutes, but we'll change that also. So it's 7-0. Any other exceptions to the minutes in May?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes with the two corrections.
Motion made by Cleo to accept the May 1st, 2023 minutes. Need a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Hank. Roll call vote. President, yes. Vice President Bob.
Yes.
Michelle absent. Cleo. Cindy.
Yeah.
Hank.
Yes.
Also absent. Vote 3 yeses, 1 no, 2 absent.
4 yeses.
4 yeses, excuse me. Now on to the June agenda.
Just looking at it, but I was listening to what he said.
Oh, okay.
Payment of the bills. We have a stack of bills here that need to be paid.
You have a list?
She has a stack of bills.
What is all the bills? They didn't have any early last month. That's more than one sort. Oh, no, this is good. Holy moly.
We'll skip down to public comment on the agenda. Any public comment on the agenda?
Yes. Noticing on the prior minutes that on personal appointment you had advertising for borough secretary. That wasn't even mentioned at the last.
Well, it was in Bob's minutes that he took, so it was wrote down in the minutes.
It was not mentioned at the
Okay,
first
so-
meeting.
Anyway,
If you want to amend that now and then add it to this,
well, we've already approved the minutes.
you can always amend those meetings.
Well, it was in the previous minutes that he took.
But
and
it
was
wasn't,
copied
It
from
wasn't
that.
brought up.
at the meeting. That means it didn't happen. You can't just write it down.
We were asked at the meeting if we, about a secretary, and I said we have advertised 4 times for a secretary.
That did not happen.
That did not happen.
That did not
That did not
Whoa,
happen.
whoa, that's your opinion.
When we asked, no, when we asked,
Your opinion's
nobody
bullshit.
answered.
Okay,
Nobody answered.
Where
Hold on,
did
hold
we
on.
advertise?
She has it
Hold
on
on,
video.
folks.
You
Hold on,
did not
folks.
bring that
This
up
is-
at all.
Folks,
it's been in
this
there
is
4
my
times.
agenda,
Yes.
item time. I'm just
It's
gonna
a
mention,
blind advertisement.
I'm just gonna mention that it was
It
not
was
brought up
directed to them.
at
Gordy.
the meeting. Mr. Chilson,
You need to listen to what he's
Mr.
saying.
Chilson,
Yes, go
this
ahead.
is my time to, this was not brought up at the meeting, even if you can't just pencil it down. You may wanna bring it up now.
They brought it up, and we appreciate it. Thank
No,
you.
they didn't.
You may wanna bring it up now.
You commented,
Put it on.
we thank you for your
You
comment.
may wanna bring it up now and put it on, cause it was not mentioned last month. That means this is incorrect. What I'm reading here is incorrect.
That, okay, you had your chance when we asked about corrections of the minutes.
No, just, you
You didn't ask us. You didn't ask us.
This
Okay.
is why I'm responding now.
Okay.
So you have a time to amend what you just said before and add it to the minutes.
Do anybody want to make a motion to add to the minutes something that pertains to advertising to this, for a new secretary? Need a motion?
Well, we actually should have talked about that before we advertised.
Have you even handled a resignation from the lady?
No,
I'll make a motion to advertise for secretary position.
Cleo, we're making a motion to bring up the subject to add to the minutes
Add that to the minutes.
of last month,
Last month's minutes.
that it was mentioned.
Yep.
Okay.
It was
Need a
not
second?
mentioned.
wasn't mentioned last
It was not mentioned, thank you, Nick. It was not mentioned.
Was it?
Yes.
It was not.
Yes.
No, it was not.
No, it was
It
not.
was asked if we'd advertised, and we have advertised, yes.
But where did you advertise?
The penny saver, 4 times.
You were asked,
Bullshit.
Is that a legitimate paper to advertise
It
in?
says on the out of the front page of the newspaper, and it's the most circulation
Yeah,
in the
but we
borough.
don't get the penny saver in our
Exactly.
mailboxes, therefore it should be available
who's
to
commenting?
us.
Who's commenting here?
So who drafted these minutes
Who's
then, since we don't
commenting?
have a
Please,
secretary?
state your names.
You don't have to.
Yes, you do.
No, we
No,
don't.
we
To be
don't.
recognized, you
Okay.
state your name.
I'm Terry Hartman, and last month I sat right here at the last meeting. You were asked about secretary, and you would not give an answer. I remember that.
Well, I remember advertising 4 times, and remember it brought up last month, and he took the minutes, we advertised for a secretary, okay? Now Cindy just asked me, we've never advertised. I told her, yes, we've advertised 4 times. And I believe we also, did you have a bill here for the penny saver?
No, I did not.
Okay. Well, okay.
That's why, because it didn't have
Paid with
bill.
credit card.
If it's
Paid
paid
with
by
a credit
credit
card.
card, then I didn't have the bill.
Then give us an itemized bill to show us that it was specifically the billing for the secretary. Prove it to us.
I'll show you, but it won't be tonight,
Show us the ad.
because I'm not gonna
Show us
dig out
the
the
ad,
bill.
show us the ad.
None of us have seen
The ad's in the penny saver, I don't have
It's
it.
not there. Okay,
Okay.
I'll pull up the penny
We
saver
get the
right now,
penny
it's not
saver
there.
every single week.
Okay.
We have seen your meeting
Pull up,
announcements,
pull
but
up,
not a secretary.
the month of May, 2nd week, 3rd week,
It's not there, it's not
Why
there.
don't you go watch last
that's
month's
fine,
meeting?
that's fine.
It's pretty simple.
Okay. Any other comment?
Yes.
Who typed up the minutes, because we don't have a secretary?
I
Right at the
did.
bottom of the page.
State your name.
And a hotel.
Okay, what's your
I
comment?
wanna know where the grant money is for the library.
That was a question. The grant money is deposited in the,
Why
library account.
hasn't it been released so they can start working on it?
Because the borough hasn't approved it
It
yet.
doesn't need to be approved by you.
That's your opinion, thank you.
No,
Okay.
no, wait a second. That was
Our
approved by the
library
grant
committee
people.
applied for
That-
that, and it was awarded to us.
That is awarded to the borough.
It was
Bullshit.
awarded
It was
to
awarded
the
The
library,
library.
No.
specifically to the library, to have new
the money was
windows,
used for
new
the
floor
ball
put
field.
in. Would you please tell us where the money is?
I just told you, it's in the library account. I mean, that's the second time now, please.
You don't need to talk to me that way.
Well, I'm conducting the meeting and you've
Then
asked
why can't
twice
we
and I
have our
told you
money to
this.
put it
Well,
in
if
the
it's in the account, why can they not have it?
Next comment,
I'm not done.
Right.
what's your next comment, please?
I wanna know why you won't give it to us. It's a simple question.
We wanna put in the floors and the windows.
No, there is.
Well,
there is no-
first of all, the borough council hasn't decided who's gonna do the work. We don't know who's doing it.
No,
We
it's
never-
not
The
your
council.
We haven't been, the borough owns the building. And if any work's gonna be done to a borough building, they're going to approve it.
Let me guess, your people are gonna do the work?
No, the Kreger grant won't allow it.
That's right.
Kreger Grant won't allow what?
You can't pay out of that money. That money is strictly for the materials. They were getting, volunteers from the church were
And
going
who
to do
are,
it.
we don't have the names of volunteers.
You don't
we
need the list of
You don't
volunteers.
We don't have
You
their
don't need
insurance.
them.
You don't need
You have
that.
the church volunteering, period.
Well, I'm just telling you,
Right here.
okay,
We're
bring them up,
telling you.
please.
Oh, that's wrong.
Well, we got the library, we got that on the list. We'll move on. When we get to the agenda, we'll get to the library.
Except for this one. I'm sorry, Gary, she's there.
Do should we do the borough finance report? Okay.
This-
To anyone that doesn't know, Vicki Willis is the public, our accountant, and she has some financials that she'll go over with the borough to get us closer to being caught up.
You want me to do that now?
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
All right, well, we took over the accounting, bringing it up after the hack on the computer. At the hack on the computer, we were, in April. We were not able to get the copies of checkbooks back from, the Attorney General's office. Therefore, we did get your copy on February 3rd, which helped a lot. My backup was, September 2nd, and the backups that have been done here were done on the same computer that now the Attorney General has. So we have at this point, I have verified everything from December to February. All of the key punching has been done and entered for all 10 bank accounts up until May 31st, and then the June 6th billing that I did the checks for tonight. Not all of the transfers are complete because I simply ran out of time. It's a monumental project. But we have made probably 80% progress on the reconstruction of everything. I have not been able to enlist any of my employees at this time because I know the borough books a lot better than they do, and I'm setting up systems so that this will be much quicker in the future, and it'll be, once we get this all up to date. The water sewer, that is completely up to date as to expenses. It is not completely up to date as to income because we're still working on the diversified. The diversified software is the water sewer software that Mary Beth was using. There were some issues with her software and the way that she was putting it in that Diversified had not helped her with. We now, as of today, have the software now on our server where we know that it's safe and hack-proof, and that and Denise, my employee Denise, and Diversified have verified all of the meter readings for December, January. We have cleaned up all of the extraneous stuff that was in there and the duplicate meter accounts that Denise found. And right now, as of January 16, we know that every town owner, every homeowner, person in the borough has a good record as of January 16. Over the next week, Diversified is going to, as part of Denise's training, work with her to bring in the 16th of February, 16th of March, 16th of April. When we get the April and now May 16th, we're going to write a letter with all of the details that will have every meter reading from January to May. So, and that will be verified by the book and the meter readings, which Denise is working from, and we have all the assistance we need from your water sewer guy because he's been very, very helpful. That will also list then any payments that we have on the account record, and then ask every meter holder to double check all of their payments and call us if there are any missing, and I'm sure they can provide cancel checks, receipts, whatever they need to make sure that every payment is accounted for. And at that point, we will then have accurate meter readings and accurate billings going out monthly. Monumental job.
Maybe accurate if some of the meters aren't working. And Michael's just adding numbers to it.
I don't have an answer for that. We have the meter readings in the notebook that Michael has done. If there's something different there, that's not my say to answer.
No, I'm just, I know you're guaranteeing it, but I wouldn't put your
Well,
reputation on it.
I'm guaranteeing that the meter readings we've got from Michael will be the meter readings on the billing. There will be nothing extra, there will be nothing missing, and that all the payments that we have recorded will be on there, and if there are any missing, we will definitely take care of that.
How do you?
Now, are they expected us to pay the bill all out at once when you get it, or?
That is not up to me.
Well, not people's gonna be able to afford 500, 600, 700, 800, whatever.
A lot of people have made payments even though they didn't have a bill.
We were told not to.
Oh, that's not up to me either. That's up to
Your
me.
bill will not be any larger than it would have been if you'd paid a monthly payment.
So.
It's up to you on how you budget your money, but your bill will not be any larger than what you owe, with no penalties.
So he's saying you could have $500, $600, $700 bill.
Right. So he's saying you can have a $500, $600,
You have $100 bill
You
every
should
month.
say, you should have put $100
Multiply it by
in
five,
each
you-
month
you still
just to
gotta make
cover the
some kind
bill
of
because
combination, I
if
think.
we're
We'll cross
not
the bridge when we get
able
there.
So,
Let's get it all
to
yeah,
do
so
the
why would
payments
we-
properly and
why
get
would
the
we
bills
try to
out
decide that
on
one
time
on the
every
numbers?
month?
So
Okay,
we
that's that.
need to get a
Right.
summary from Vicky first before
Right. I
we
agree.
discuss that, so.
It's just been, been,
I'll be back.
it is,
That makes sense.
we're proud of the fact that we have gotten good numbers and gotten, bringing the software and the fact that we've got a good base to start from.
Ma'am, can you repeat what you said about the Attorney General's office? What was that?
The attorney, when the hack happened on the computer here, someone locally called the Attorney General's office. The Attorney General's office sent the state troopers here, and they confiscated the computer. That was up to April 7th or 8th. The backups that I had were backups that I had kept when I'd done some stuff in October were complete through September 3rd, I think. I usually logged into the computer here remotely because it's too risky to bring a file to my office, bring a file back again. There's always the risk that I've done stuff, someone else has done stuff, we're overcounting it. Because the accountant's copy was at the auditor's, we couldn't pull in an accountant's copy like we normally would do. So therefore, I had a copy as of September, and it looked like I was going to have to recreate all of the data from September to May. However, Hank had, when he was working on the computer, thank God for Hank, he had a copy as of February 2nd. So the first week of May, I was able to get the copy from February 2nd, which was of course more complete than what I had started to do from September. Therefore, in the month of May, we had done the complete key punching of all expenses for all 10 bank accounts, and we have waded through a monumental amount of filing paper that we've accumulated and have brought to my office. So it's been a monumental project, but we are probably 80% of having rock solid numbers on all of the do-tos, the do-froms, the bank transfers, and things that go into having financial statements and balance sheet. The expenses I know are accurate. The balance sheet, not quite, because the bank balance is not balanced because of transfers and due-tos. The Attorney General's office has recently told us that the computer that they have taken, that the files had been corrupted, and there was no way of getting that current backup back off it. And they're still investigating that, to my best knowledge.
And when Bob and I met with the state police and picked up computers that had been cleaned, we asked them about the water authority the water department of computer and the borough computer, and they kept them, and we have not heard from them in a month?
Yeah.
Probably a month, to where that's at. And the computers that we got back that were cleaned by Hank months before that, they were disassembled in ways, and power cords were missing, and it was pretty much a shamble on that stuff. And they don't know really what's going on with the computers. We've heard nothing from them in a month, and that's where we are. I'd like to get them back so we can get that information off them, so it'll help Vicky enormously. But as of right now, they don't really know any more than we do, for some reason.
Yes, we do. So, Becky,
You going back to payment of the bills here then, or?
Yeah.
are all the accounts secure? The bank accounts?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The bank accounts were never touched.
Oh, that's
There was
fine.
nothing.
Okay.
There was nothing hacked as far as bank accounts. The hacking was all due to changing data on the water bills and changing data into the QuickBooks and changing passwords so that we literally could not get into it. That was the hacking that was done.
So basically, it had to be somebody that knew the process internally.
And knew the passwords.
And knew the passwords.
They had all the
So
passwords.
do we know how many people was involved in all that? Who knew the passwords?
It would've been people that had access to the passwords, which no council members had access to the
Oh,
passwords.
that's
Yes.
not true. That is not true.
Don't make us laugh. Oh my God.
What happened when you guys were all in here trying to get into the computer?
What council knows the passwords? You
You know the
don't?
password?
Excuse me, on the 1st of January, when you took over office, that envelope was handed over to the mayor, who in turn gave it to
Maybe they're the
you.
guilty ones.
So don't tell me you don't
Listen, we're
know.
conducting a meeting, okay?
Yeah, and I'm letting everybody know exactly
Who knew the password?
who knew the
Tell me-
password.
so-
You did.
I have no knowledge of any
Oh my
password.
God. Of course you don't. Cory. You never do.
Today, to this day, I have no knowledge of the password.
So,
And when,
Oh my
and
God.
also,
No, that may be true.
in,
Of Penzone and Cleo and.
yeah, right.
He may have forgotten them, that is
Yeah,
true. I'll let that
Computer.
slide. Yeah, he knew it.
Also, Also, Vicky has figured out that the passwords were changed, I believe.
From within the computer, someone had the password, got into all three of the ledgers. The passwords were changed from within inside the program. They were not changed to change my password because that would not have worked.
It also, the passwords were changed the last day that,
Right.
that Penny worked.
No, the passwords were all changed then, yes, and
Yes.
that's why you didn't have access to the QuickBooks from January of '21.
No, I can tell you right now, that statement is false.
Okay, so,
Okay.
anyway,
Guarantee that statement's false.
so anyway,
And I have proof.
Nobody could get into it for 6 months, I had to strip the password.
No, that's only because they didn't know how to technically get into it. They locked
Well,
themselves out.
well,
regardless,
whatever.
Regardless.
Okay, whatever, okay.
Vicky, my name is Kathy Helgema. I actually contacted you well over a month ago, never got a call back.
No, because there was nothing I could answer you.
Okay, so,
The common
but,
courtesy would have been a call.
no, wait.
Yeah.
So, now that you've said you've got things pretty well squared away to about 80%, which is better than industrial standard, is about 75, so that's kinda cool. What I would like to say is, I called you because I had quite a number of elderly individuals in the town that were contacting me, feeling leery about putting any payments in the little box that's there.
That
And
wasn't
I had,
something I had anything to do with.
Has nothing to do with her.
Nothing I could answer that. There's no
okay,
way
well,
I could
but
answer
maybe you can answer this, cause I know you said, and I know the lady's name starts with a D, I think it was Denise, that's good.
Denise, she's
So,
going to be
does
working
she,
on this.
does she actually drive from out the other end of the valley to come in and pick up the checks? Or do we have council members that are picking up taking our checks and possibly still anybody in this town that doesn't use enough common sense to realize that paper money is a bad idea?
I can't answer that.
Any money, anyone any council member that handles any funds are insured for $100,000 on insurance policy.
Oh, you're worth
That's
$100,000?
against that.
Oh, I'm glad you told me that.
So,
Enough comments from the peanut gallery. We got a meeting here to
Settle down, we're
conduct.
not conducting a meeting, okay?
so, okay, no, so.
No derogatory
let's get-
comments.
Let's get back onto the agenda then,
So,
okay?
Okay.
back to you, Vicky.
The
I do.
the
Wait a
floor is,
minute, let her
Let's pause for a
talk.
second.
What's your
the
hurry?
floor is
So,
closed.
Vicky, I appreciate your candor and
Working on the
acknowledging the
financial
fact
report.
that the money is actually coming to you by way of secondhand.
Yes, it is.
Okay, that's good. That's all I asked. And now I do have one different one.
I
No,
don't
because
understand why
this
the
is
floor
that.
is open, Gloria.
Oh, shut
I really don't.
You have your
No,
opportunity at the
but-
end, okay?
No.
We're trying to get through the
I just
financial
have-
report,
Okay.
I
okay?
just
And
have
payment of
one.
Thank
bills.
you.
One more question, Vicky, just a simple one. So I tend to like to do a lot of my payments online.
Yes.
Is there any way that I can connect online? I don't wanna do it through the system. I wanna do it directly through the bank, through
There's
CNN.
no way currently to do that.
Is there any way that we can, consider
this-
possibly?
At this
You can
point,
mail it to her.
there is no way to do that. There may be in the future, but as of today, there's no way to do that.
Alright, that's all I need to know.
I'll take that under consideration and we may be able to put that in place.
That would be nice.
But I gotta get it caught up before we start with more bells and whistles.
Okay. Department reports,
So
fire
wait a minute,
department? Okay,
we
go
skipped
ahead,
the
go ahead.
payment of bills.
Oh, excuse me, yeah. Did you get a chance to look the bills over, everybody?
No, I didn't see them. I just-
Is Glenn the computer guy's bill in there to be paid?
No, it is
No.
not.
When is he going to be paid?
It's not in there?
It should be in there because
Why isn't
it
he
should be
being paid?
Why? Because there was an insurance claim made.
It's not an insurance claim.
That, to the best of my knowledge and the correspondences I've seen of that.
Somebody knows
it's
more than
been-
Borough.
It's
Yeah.
been submitted to the insurance and is being reviewed for payment. I have seen those correspondences.
Is
So-
this the policy related to that?
Yeah, what policy does it fall under?
I didn't review the policy.
It's a cyber policy that the borough has.
So it came from the borough. Borough submitted.
The borough has submitted all of the bills and all the paperwork that they have related to this incident to the insurance company. The correspondences that I have seen is that they're reviewing it and they will pay out accordingly. And of course, whatever is not paid by insurance will be the responsibility of the borough.
But Chris, also, we've requested the IT guy to itemize his bill,
He did.
and he has not done that.
Yes,
And
he did.
the state police still hasn't issued a report.
They don't have.
That has nothing to do with payment for the IT guy.
Yes, it does, because
To
the
the
insurance
insurance
company is
company.
asking.
I would suspect
To the
that
insurance
it
company,
would
yes,
matter
not
to
to
the
you.
insurance company.
Yes,
To the insurance company, yes, not to you.
well, it all goes together.
Then you bounce it up and send it back to him?
Borough's the policyholder. While Cleo's looking at those bills, you wanna move down the reports?
Just, I don't know why.
Fire department report,
Yeah.
And then submit.
anyone here for the fire department? Did that,
What she handed out. Payment of bills and then financial report. We gotta approve the financial report.
yeah, if you wanna go back to that. We need to talk about that. Okay. Need a motion to, approve and accept, Vicky's financial report?
I'll make a motion to accept.
Motion by Cleo,
Report.
I have one, I'm not looking over, really.
I don't think it's full, completed.
need a second?
Why does it say 2021?
I used the template, just
No,
use that, the
I'll
dates up
second.
there.
Second by Hank, roll call vote, President, yes. Vice President Bob,
Yes.
Michelle, absent. Cleo,
Yes.
Cindy,
No.
Hank,
Yes.
Mansell,
No.
okay,
Is there a chief gonna sit down with you sometime, so you
Absolutely.
walk us through it? Thanks.
4-2 is
I'll make an
the,
appointment before
vote.
too.
What's that?
I'll make an appointment before too.
Alright, thank you.
Give me a couple weeks to get
Okay,
it.
fire department, no report.
I got
Police,
That's why I'm not.
no
accepting.
report.
I wanna see everything.
Mayor will be here later, hopefully. You got something from the ambulance, Kate?
Yes.
Please.
Chief Button said that it was a slow month, which is not a bad thing as far as I'm concerned. And he said that, pretty much what we did was 4 transports.
Great.
Didn't make any money this month, did you? Rural committee reports. Lucy, you got something from the library?
Sure do.
Okay, you're up.
Okay, my name is Lucy Losi and I'm kind of in charge of the library. May was a busy month. The report's a little different this month. We had an average attendance on Saturdays of 19 people per month.
Per Saturday?
Per Saturday,
Okay.
the average was.
Yep.
There were 7 other days that had some activity at the library. There was painting, a meeting, yard work, upgrading. And it seems like every time there is a car in the parking lot, at least one person stopped by and comes inside to see what's going on. Today I went down there expecting to be there 20 minutes or so. I was there 2 hours because I had 4 visitors. And they ranged from age 5 to my age, but I'm the oldest one that was there. The library helped sponsor the Memorial Day service on 5/28/23 at the Power Cemetery. We're thinking it possibly was the first one ever. It was a lovely event, and if you missed it, you can still see it on IONU Media on Facebook. About 60 people were there. Many thanks go out to the many folks that planned it, particularly Jessica, Paul's Homes, who donated a lot of stuff. The speakers, the singer, the DJ, the honor guard, Boy Scouts, Caden and Colton, and all the people that attended. 3 members of the Retta Boston Perry Memorial Library's family visited this past Saturday on 6/3/2023. They were all very pleased and interested in the positive changes at the library and plan on attending the 50th anniversary celebration on June 24th. I'd like it to be noted in the minutes that I've already submitted a list of the volunteers for the insurance company, even though my understanding is that I've asked several times to see where it wanted the names of people rather than just the number. I also gave you a piece of paper that states who's responsible for the Kreger grant, changes that are supposed to be made, and it was approved by the Kreger Grant Foundation, and I believe that Mr. Chilson has already approved all this because he's a member of the Cracker board. So, I would like to have that noted in the minutes, please.
Can I have a member of the
Also-
board?
What's that?
You want it mentioned in the minutes that I'm a member of the board?
Certainly, because you've
Okay.
already approved all of the things that you're going to try to challenge me with. So here, also, I want noted, please, I'm still talking, this is an invitation to everybody to come to the June 24th, 50th anniversary of the library. I'll wait till you're done and I'll continue talking, so you can remember what I said. Are we ready now? Just go ahead.
Are you listening to what she's saying?
I'm listening, yeah.
He's trying to remember what he approved.
For the volunteer
Stop
list.
shuffling papers and look, so maybe you can remember what I'm
Where's the
telling
volunteer
you.
list?
I want the stuff on,
there.
in the minutes.
Well, I talked to the insurance company. The insurance company don't need all,
They need
Volunteer
an
list.
amount, not the names.
no names, no nothing,
Oh, wow.
so.
Things tend to be based upon interpretation. Or what you really wanna know.
And the room.
Are you gonna listen to what
company?
I'm listening.
Who is?
I'm listening.
Could you at least acknowledge her and look at her while she's
I don't,
talking?
I can handle both at the same time, not a problem. Go
Oh,
ahead.
yeah.
It's
Okay.
respectful to
Sometime.
look
Go ahead.
at people in the eye as they're talking to you.
Go right ahead, ma'am.
Here's an invitation to 50th anniversary of the library. Pass it on, show me copies for everybody. Okay, there it is. Here is the Here is a copy of the will. And I have a question about the Curtis Wright Corporation, unclaimed money from Pennsylvania. And in the will, it states that it belongs to the library.
Oh, the one that he-
Good job, Lucy.
Good job, Lucy.
It's Rena's bill.
Oh, okay. Did you get that money yet from that, treasurer?
That was before he had the money sent.
No.
What they, did they turn it down, or what they say?
You haven't said anything.
Is it on
You
English?
pay the bills or?
Did you talk to him?
You'd like to have something notarized?
We're at that softball.
Everything's been notarized.
Gordy, I'm gonna
You're
ask,
not approved.
Gordy, can I ask a question real quick?
Go ahead.
So, my understanding is that the library is owned by the borough,
Right.
okay? How much
According to
do-
this will.
How much do we anticipate the cost is going to be to do the renovations that the grant funds are being used for?
The grant was for $4,000. The estimates range from right around that to more money, to like maybe 8,000.
No.
What are you talking about?
No,
No.
no,
No.
no, she kept it at, that's how she
I
got
have,
the amount.
I have quotes for you. There's $4,000. That's
To
it.
the lawyer.
I just wanna make sure that
Go ahead.
although that the money was, if the money was granted to the library,
Yeah.
it's a borough building, you're still required to follow the guidelines relative to public bidding and or obtaining estimates and quotes, and how that work is done. What I would suggest, and no offense to Mr. Odell, I'm surprised to hear that the insurance company doesn't want a list of those people doing the work, especially if it's volunteer work on property owned by the borough.
They do.
Because
They've
there would
asked-
need to
they've
be,
asked-
there would need to be
Yes, they have.
verified that there's going to be coverage for whatever work is going to be done.
They have coverage.
They have coverage up to
through the
$100,000.
church. Okay, they are insured. And plus, is there not liability insurance on everyone who enters any place in Lawrenceville?
Correct, if you're there as an invitee, but we're talking about
Construction.
individuals coming to do work. I just wanna make sure, I'm not
They're
disputing.
insured.
Didn't Gordy
They're
Ma'am, I'm not trying to get in a
volunteer to be
debate
covered
with
by the
anybody.
borough's
I'm
insurance?
just offering some insight to some of the concerns that I'm hearing.
Okay, and the thing is, the Cracker Grant has its own, instructions, and the instructions were followed for this grant.
I can appreciate
Okay.
that, but you also have to comply
And
with the.
Gordy already approved it, he's on the board,
Okay.
so he approved it.
I'm advising the borough that they also, just because the Krieger grant may have certain requirements of this way the funds are spent, the borough still has to comply with the borough code and the procurement laws of Pennsylvania, because it is a borough building. You cannot circumvent those by using those having those funds go through a third party, meaning a library foundation or whatever your organization
It's not a
is.
third party, they're in charge of the checking account, the money is in there.
The borough's entitled to charge the checking accounts.
It's not
I was only hearing comments
Okay.
from some of the individuals here that money was granted to somebody other than the borough, and so that there might have been concern why the borough was holding those funds. If the money goes to the borough, you have an obligation to comply with the laws of this commonwealth.
Well, let me.
Those are some of those laws.
I'd like to comment on your comment there, is that when I called the insurance company, originally, Mr. Chilson wanted the list of volunteers that worked at the library, whether it
It's
be.
for all
All
borough
volunteers, all borough volunteers.
And I called the insurance company, the only thing they wanna know is, they wanna know who's working for us, who's on the comp, who's on the insurance. They said they don't care about the library, the people that volunteer is none of their business. That's what they told me.
totally wrong.
That's what, I give you the lady's name, I'm not making this shit up.
I would not dispute the idea that the volunteers that might be working in the library as
That's what the issue was.
helpers with passing out books or restocking books. If somebody is doing work on your property, even as a volunteer, I think the borough has an obligation to make sure they know who those individuals are
Yeah.
and what work is being done.
That wasn't
by
part of the
those
discussion,
individuals.
right.
That's a different type of
Right.
discussion.
Right, I agree.
So just to add a whole different layer to the onion, Lucy, so let's say that maybe in a month, interest in the library tanks, such to the point that the library becomes a defunct facility. Is there not something that states that, if and when the time comes that the library is no longer a library, it reverts back to the Bostwick family? So, you're, in one respect, you say that the building belongs to the borough, but in another respect, only until the library no longer functions, and then the property is no longer part of the borough.
Correct, but that does not change the legal requirements of the borough to comply with the laws of the Commonwealth. Title is currently in the borough's name, and what is commonly known as a reverter clause in that deed, which would require that if it no longer operated as a library, it goes back to whomever the individual, whomever the family members. I apologize, I'm trying to listen as intently as I can and catch everything, but that reverter clause does not give an automatic right in anybody. The title is still in the borough's name at this point in time. The borough has to comply with whatever legal obligations it has to, because it is titled in their name.
I'm sorry, since the church, they do this community service and stuff, and they carry their own insurance, isn't that good enough? Because they carry insurance, helping people, you know what I mean, when their people are going out doing that.
Good enough for, I guess I only, your comment is a little ambiguous, I guess is what I'm saying, so relative
If
to.
they carry insurance on.
So generally, common example of the use of borough property, and I don't know if this happened, but my guess is there should be some kind of lease with the library organization that allows them to be in there and to conduct the business that they're conducting. Or if not, I'm not gonna question that practice, but say there's an invitee, so you have an event I'm assuming you have a park in town. So somebody holds an event in a park. There should generally be a permit process for that event, because whoever's holding that event should make sure that they have their insurance for whomever they've invited to the park. So that not only it covers them individually, but it also protects the borough from potential liability that is really out of their control, unless they have an employee there that is going to police that event. That is very standard practice in which.
An example is, my family has a public park, and we have an insurance policy that covers community events in that park. And, it's about $3,200 a year for that insurance for.
But generally, I would think that the borough would want to know who is holding events in them, regardless of
Right,
whether or not
absolutely.
your normal invitees who go to use your park, your kids go to play. There's a pickup soccer game, if you
I
have a
don't-
softball field.
I don't know why we're getting.
I think we sidetracked a little bit, and I apologize,
know.
that was my fault.
I appreciate-
But I wanted
that's
to make
fine.
sure that we were handling the library grant funds appropriately, because that is something that is on the agenda.
Yeah, but I don't know why we're getting so much pushback on free insurance that protects them from being hurt or whatever. I mean, the fire department, they give us a list, phone numbers, everybody that's a
They got it.
member, that they're volunteers.
They have
That's
Okay.
a substantial.
And that's- and then-
Why
then-
is the library the only one that has to be closed?
Yeah, I gave it last month.
Yeah, that one's updated.
Because there's potential work out there.
We can update it.
If the-
Well,
I mean,
it's
yeah.
updated.
Well, we
Yeah,
have-
I hear
We're
about
paying
it.
for people who should actually
But anyway,
do that.
There's potential
Yeah,
work.
otherwise the
Anyway,
list.
this will here, where it says the three stocks, United States Corporation, Curtis-Wright Corporation, and AE Stanley Manufacturing, we still have this stock, and it pays dividends, and it's recorded every year, okay?
Right.
The money that she's talking about, that's in the unclaimed funds, that stock is no longer. It's soon as the state gets the unclaimed funds, they liquidate that stock, okay? That's no longer stock. This is, in the will, this stock is still present with the borough.
Right.
Here,
Right,
okay?
that's not what she's saying, she wanted to know where the money was and if you got it yet.
No, you asked me that.
No, that's
did.
what she was
No, she
asking,
did.
was
Okay, but anyway,
the money.
okay, there's been no unclaimed funds claimed, okay?
You,
Now,
what
a
are
lot
you
of,
talking about?
You claimed over $5,000 in unclaimed funds, that you wanna be in charge of it.
You were gonna be the direct contact person for that.
absolutely, that's what the borough's wishes. These
No, that was
days,
your wishes, not the borough's wishes, believe me.
You probably spent that.
When was that?
Alright, so,
Just a few months ago.
so let's go back to payment.
Yes, please.
Okay, need a motion for payment of the bills, they've been reviewed.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by
Bills
Cleo,
submitted.
Where's the,
We already went around the table.
Yeah, it was 4-2.
everybody said yes,
No,
except for Steve.
no.
No, we didn't.
No,
No.
that was for
They're
the
direct
treasurer's report.
deposit.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
but
sorry.
I'd like to know how
I'll
much people
clear the
make,
motion.
I thought it was bills. No, you didn't, but everybody went out.
need a second for payment of the bills,
Anything that goes,
Second by
anything that goes out,
Hank.
and money,
thank you,
I
Hank.
just like to.
Roll call vote, President Gordon, yes. Vice President
No,
Bob,
I know.
Yes.
Michelle absent, Cleo,
Yes.
Cindy,
No, not all the bills are there?
Hank,
Yes.
Is the fire
Mansell.
department bill in there? The fire department hasn't been paid. Is the fire department bill in there?
4-2, payment of the bills, excuse me?
How do you vote, Mansell?
He
Mansell,
voted
how do
no,
you
he
vote?
voted no.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit down with the lady.
Vicky, do you have a bill for the fire department?
No, I do not. I was not provided with a bill for the fire department.
Okay.
What's the bill?
I thought I brought you up the one for the direct deposit.
Sorry, motion carried.
And
It
also,
doesn't exist.
the fire department, 1,300 and something, you were gonna look it up.
No, that's not that. No, I'm talking about the secretary. Because it's an understood.
Okay, so we're on
You divide it
payment
out by
of the
12.
bills, financial report, public comments.
We're down
Ambulance,
to
library,
building enforcement,
enforcement.
nothing about that, there's, public works, streets and levies. We rented a, whatever you wanna call it,
Brush cutter.
brush cutter, and, we did part of the levy with that, and we're now in the process of, looking for a sickle bar and brush hog to do much more of that as we can. In personnel and appointment, we have no applications for secretary as of yesterday. Park and Recreation, new fence quote, west side of the ball field was obtained by Bob. And, how much was that quote? 5,000?
You wanna,
Well, it's something we're
I
not
can
gonna do
find it.
until after ball season.
Yeah.
It's fine, okay. Water and sewer? You got something for that?
just working on the well.
Yeah, we're,
Well,
well,
date,
well
separate.
one, well two, maintenance, DEP is requiring that the same model pump be put back in well one as was originally there, and the same thing with well two. And it might not be a problem with well two, because we'll put well one pump in well two. And, Jimmy Joe is working on, with the, contractor that put the original pumps in, on getting the pump back in well one with DEP's approval. In building committee, Cleo and I went down to the library,
What's the
and
building
What is
committee?
the building committee?
the building committee is Cleo, Bob, and I.
What was that for?
Was that?
What was that for?
At the last council meeting, it's in your minutes here.
No,
No, it wasn't.
No,
No, it
You
wasn't.
did the billing committee last month, not the
No.
building committee.
That's your
You created
opinion.
a billing committee.
Well, that's what they were saying, isn't it?
And Borough Committee, Gordon Chosen, Bob Penz, and Cleo Russell will make up the committee.
I don't remember that.
We already know that's not
No.
accurate.
No.
Because-
That is not
I don't remember.
accurate.
That is not accurate.
Well, you guys
Building
must have
committee.
just typed it up before the meeting then.
Well, we got a tape of it.
Hey,
so-
whoa, whoa, we're having a meeting, dear.
You got an application, cause I got somebody that's interested in being a secretary.
Good.
Just turn in a resume.
Just tell them, turn in a resume.
To who,
Important
where,
thing
and
is we
when?
know now.
The, personnel,
When?
right, tomorrow, I don't care when, turn it in, tonight, you got her, is she here tonight?
No.
No. On the, quotes that, I have a copy of them here, for the library, on the windows and flooring. One quote had, a brand window, which is fine, the other quote, does not have the brand of the window. And the two different quotes are for two different size windows.
That's because there's two different size windows.
Well, you got 4 of each.
No, I don't, I have 3 of one and 1 of another one. Exactly.
Shouldn't the building committee know this?
Okay, on the home outlet Horses, New York, replace 3 windows, 33 3/4 by 53 1/4. That same window, 3 windows at Hall's Homes is 34 1/4 by 53 1/2, which are 2 different dimensions. And then the other replacement window is 27 3/4 by 25, and the Hall Homes is 28 1/2 by 45 1/4.
It depends on how you measure.
Yeah, absolutely, that's right. You
So
said it.
if you're the building committee, don't you take your cute little tape out there and go, yeah?
I'm just getting the quotes that were given to, the borough by Cindy, or by Lucy, excuse
So
me.
you're saying there's 6 windows they want ordered?
No,
they don't
four
match.
total.
They don't match, the match,
Well, it depends on who measures
They,
them, so
they are
that's right.
replacement
okay.
windows,
Right, that's
and
okay.
you have a little bit of
Of play.
wiggle room.
That's okay.
Right,
They
absolutely,
don't
yeah.
have the
That's-
size windows exactly that we need,
Yeah.
and there's wiggle room.
Right, that's
If you're a
fine.
building committee, you probably should already know that.
we know that, and the issue is,
That's
we said that the, window frame should be taken off down to the stud, and you should be measuring between the studs to determine the size of the windows. And,
Okay.
I don't have a list of who the volunteers were, but I would
Yes,
hope.
you do.
Well, if it's in front of me, I'll find
You
it.
just gave it to me.
Okay,
Okay,
anyway.
Gordy,
Anyway, what we'll do is we'll get with, the volunteers and we'll get them measured up correctly. And then on the flooring, you got apples and oranges, you got one floor quote from Halls, which is 4 times thicker than the quote from the other company.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's quite a bit of difference in the price, from 1,500 to 3,600.
Yeah.
Difference in the pricing.
But what is the quality of the wood that's going down on the floor? Does it
The
have?
quality of the wood.
Is it just a plank, or is it
No, it's vinyl.
insulated
It's
plank, or is
it's
it
vinyl,
vinyl?
flooring, and one is, dimensions are, hang on just a second, 5 millimeters thick.
Right.
That's the face of it, okay? And the one from Halls is 4 times, it's 20. Okay, so it's 4 times more wear, okay? And when I talked to the guy at Halls, of course, he's selling this stuff. He is looking at the 2 quotes, he said this one here is, it says lifetime warranty, but that means until it's worn out, the warranty.
Why wouldn't he say that? He
Okay.
wants the money.
Absolutely, I don't disagree with it, okay?
He's gonna tell you that.
So, all right. And then also on the quote on floor jacks, they've got, floor jacks, 4.5 feet by 8 feet, and in the crawl space, it doesn't require a jack that's much more than 2.5 to 3 feet. And it's gonna take more than 1 floor jack, I believe. They've already got a quote of 1 floor jack.
That's,
And-
if you read the grant, there's more in there, that's just a quote for one. And Gordy, why are we spending so much time on the library, which is doing just fine, when you passed over the water and sewer, which is the biggest issue in town, okay? Why are you doing this? I don't understand. If you need to you actually had time to call Halls and talk to them about that?
No,
Did you
I
talk
didn't.
to
I went up
Apex
there.
this week, or did you talk to DEP or the EPA, or how about Hutchinson, or anybody else? But no, you had time to call
No,
Halls.
no.
I'm done, I don't wanna hear any more, stop.
Well, you're gonna hear more. You're gonna hear more.
I'm not gonna hear more, I'm gonna step outside here and not hear
Okay.
any more because it's BS.
Okay, see you, thank you for coming.
Oh, I'll be back, don't worry, as soon as you get done talking.
Move on. Old business.
Way to go, Lucy.
So, anyway, old business, mushball team money and release forms. We didn't get them in May.
So what are we
and-
doing, with the library? Are we gonna give her, we just threw that on the back burner, or what are we doing with the library stuff? Are we buying it this month?
Well, first of all, we gotta determine what we're gonna buy.
Okay, well, how long's that gonna take? Cause they'd like to do it this summer.
Is that how it worked on paving Mill Street?
No,
It didn't work that way, did it?
that was overnight deal.
Yeah.
That was just a patch job.
Why can't we have a new floor put in before the 50th anniversary?
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, have the place fixed up.
Okay,
Oh,
let's,
that's gonna be
Nice and
class.
fixed up for when the owners come.
that'll be up to, the, building committee.
But it's already been
Mr.
approved.
Commissioner,
by
already
the
been
Commission,
approved.
which you are part of, so you've already approved it,
You've said that oh, you're back.
because you don't hear me.
Okay, you said at what meeting did I approve that? Show me the minutes.
You're on the Kreger
You're on the
board,
Kreger
they
board.
approved all of this stuff.
Trustee, not as a
And
borough
unless
trustee.
what you're trying to say, Gordy, is that you were there at the meeting. and
I
you
was
chose
He
to
not
wasn't
at
say
there
the
at the
meeting.
meeting, he hasn't been to a meeting in 5 years.
I've never been to a meeting in a library.
5
committee.
years you haven't.
Is
but
she
you're
saying I'm on the
board.
committee?
You
She's
haven't
saying
been to
I'm-
a
No,
Kreger
it's
meeting
not.
yet.
We went to a Kreger meeting.
So-
Oh, Kreger grant?
Kreger
Yeah,
grant.
the Kreger grant approved the grant, they didn't approve the construction.
But you're on the Kreger grant board.
That's right,
So
yep.
you
I
approved
have-
it,
I
even though
have
you
one
weren't
vote.
there.
Did
I
you
have
not
one
go
vote.
a couple of weeks ago and get all the paperwork
How
from
long is it gonna take
Lucy?
to let them know?
So you haven't had time in 2 weeks to,
First of all,
Get
we gotta
everything.
figure out what size,
Yeah, I know, I'm
Okay.
asking you a time, give me a timetable. How long is this gonna take?
when it's finished, it'll be finished. Okay, I would hope,
The 50th anniversary is June 24th. The borough's had this money for a while.
December
I think we need to
2020.
go over those 2 quotes and pick what everybody
On his last
council
day.
approves.
Why?
true.
They first have to
Get
learn how to
make
use
sure
the
the
measurement.
measure's right.
And get their,
Okay, figure out who the volunteers are.
Yeah, I think that's,
You know,
she
it's
said we
kind of hard to pull out this
Yeah,
little
church
metal
volunteer list.
thing.
It has nothing to do with the volunteer list. Why can't we get windows and flooring?
Are they not quotes by professionals? These are quotes, right?
Well, Hall, yeah.
Well,
We've been
what-
trying to put this on for months.
are we talking replacement windows or are we talking?
The floors and windows.
New windows.
New windows.
New windows,
Take it all off and go in.
the whole
And
thing.
they're gonna have siding issues and everything else, cause it'll be different size.
Wasn't that just
Unless you,
wood?
unless you have them
It's
made
wood.
fit the opening that's in there.
That's what you gotta do. I send somebody down to measure them, so if they're screwed up, they're responsible.
I say we buy locally.
Well, that would be Hall's,
So then, if Cleo is saying that we buy the windows locally,
which is
can
Hall's.
somebody make a motion that we
The
can
solicitor's
buy the
saying
windows
we need
locally?
to follow the purchasing
And perhaps,
requirements.
we can spend some of the other
It's
money
gonna
that
be under-
belongs to
that
the
belongs to the
library.
library.
We can spend $8,000 if you want to, we have it, we have $4,000 of credit grant money, and we have, 18 or 19 other money, so
But it'd be
sure.
nice to
we'll
do it in
double the cost,
2023.
fine.
So why don't we then make a motion like Cleo?
So we're gonna
use
do that in
Cleo's
new
suggestion.
business instead of doing it in committee reports, okay? We're trying to get to the old business. Make a motion to add it to the agenda to new business.
I'll make a motion to add it.
When we get to the
Right,
bottom.
that's my point. Let's go to the mush ball,
Okay, it's
keep
right
getting out in the weeds here.
Okay, it's right there, library. It's at the end of the book.
Wonderful.
Okay. Okay, the mush ball money, I don't see the money here or the release form, so what's your
Do
pleasure?
you have a list of volunteers for mush ball? I'd like to see it, please.
That's what they're trying to
That's
submit.
what we're trying to get.
They're playing ball, but they have no list.
They're not playing ball.
They've been
They
practicing.
are too.
Yeah, they've been there.
They're not told to be playing on the field without the release forms and the money.
Well, they've been playing.
Okay.
Don't you do a drive by there like you do my house?
What teams were playing, please?
Go find out.
Go find out.
You'll see 'em.
Go drive by yourself, like you drive by my house every day.
Yeah,
Go
like
drive
you-
by.
It's a
Like
state
you drive
road.
by everyone else's house and
They've
come
been
put your
practicing
signs
on
out.
that.
of
Hey, guys,
Hey, settle down. Okay, so what's your,
it's just table it. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, they'll table,
Well,
they're gonna table this.
shall we contact,
Somebody
who's
has
running
to-
the show and say no more, where's the money, or we're gonna
Yeah.
eliminate?
I mean, it's been 2 months.
Absolutely, yeah.
So why you ask Danny? Tell them no more.
So you
Make a
wanna
motion, Mansell.
Make a motion, Mansell.
Why should Mansell have to do it? He's not the one that's saying it.
He
You
just
are.
suggested
I don't
it.
have a say, I just,
You do have a say, make a motion.
Really?
I
Since
would
when?
say
Since
Always
when?
has a say.
No.
I'll second it.
There you go.
I would.
Wow.
She wouldn't.
you don't know what they told me already though, I don't know.
Yeah, this is true.
They're gonna tell me that you guys give them time, I don't know what they're gonna do.
They told him they were gonna have it here last month.
About it if he needs it
Didn't happen.
explained.
Didn't happen. Didn't happen this month. If you wanna read the minutes, you got a copy of the minutes.
The junk
See what it
minutes
says
that
on
are
the
not
minutes.
valid?
The ones that you want in there, that's it.
While he's looking at the minutes there from May, old business, next one is Borough volunteer list for insurance purposes, under old.
Mush ball team money and release forms due May 1st. No money or releases yet. Need both before startup of ball season.
So when is it supposed to start?
Junk minutes.
When is the season supposed to start?
They were supposed to have it to us May 1st.
Before it starts up, you just said, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
before you start.
Before May 1st, actually.
No, the meeting was May 1st.
They were supposed to have them that night.
Yeah.
Didn't happen.
So then
Because
you
they
guys-
said in April that they were gonna have them for May 1st.
Well, if you're whining about it, go
I'm
contact
not
Mosel.
whining about it. I'm just telling you what was said.
Isn't that the mayor?
Yep, contact him, call him.
Well, Gordy had time to
Okay.
call Halls about quotes, it seems like that's more
Hey,
important.
guys,
Hey, Lucy, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You got about 12 names here for volunteers at the library?
No, it's more like 18.
Well,
Count again.
you got a half a dozen of them here with just first names.
So,
Well, that's,
So
that's
can
where
you
they,
get
that's where
this,
they identify.
can you get this
They
filled out
identify as
correctly?
that.
it's
So
what we
we'll-
We don't know the
identify
last
as.
names anyway.
So we'll cross those off then.
Okay.
Fine.
So do you want the
Can we
first
do
and last
business?
name, social security number?
typically, your name is your first and last.
No, not always.
Yeah, typically.
Well, do your parents call you by your first and last name when they address you? No, they call you by your first name.
That's a family, that's not a.
Come on.
This
You're
is a
smarter than
town,
that.
this is a town.
Sometimes.
Everybody doesn't know everybody.
All right, what are we gonna do with the mush ball here? What are we gonna do with the mush ball? Table it or-
I say did somebody make a motion that we either table or somebody make a motion that we notify them to, don't be using the ball field because of the lack of funds and lack of, release forms from everybody. That would be trespassing if they would.
Water they drain off down there.
Or I bet you, we can turn terminate the mush ball league, and if they're out in the field, they get hurt, that's their own problem.
I'm not even talking about
Okay,
that.
make it in motion, please, somebody.
No, don't even mention
I make a motion, we ban the mush ball league from participating on our field until they come forward with the money and the names of the ones that are supposed to be for the insurance purposes.
Okay, motion made by Cleo to ban the mush ball league and teams until release forms and money are presented to the borough and do not be on the property.
Who,
He didn't say not on our property.
let's say if I'm.
You didn't say
the
not on
wish
the
ball,
property.
And I got the forms and I got the money, who do I give it to?
Same as you've done it for the last 30 years.
There's no secretary.
There's
You
no
don't need a
secretary.
secretary, just drop it in a box out there.
Oh, no.
Oh,
That's
no.
money?
Oh, no. Oh, jeez.
If I got.
I'll second it.
You can take it up here.
We can take it up there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And this will give you a receipt, I'll see.
Second by Cindy. Roll call vote.
Repeat the motion, please. From Cleo.
Repeat the motion, please.
Cleo made a motion, to have the mush ball league, wait a minute. Cleo made a motion at the mush ball league until the money and forms are turned in, that they can't be on the field.
Did you just add that part?
Yeah, he didn't say that.
Say that.
That's
That's not what he
say
said.
that.
Okay.
Not in our order.
President Gordy, yes. Bob?
Yes.
Michelle absent. Cleo?
Yes.
Cindy?
Yes, and it's until
Hank?
the CPA gets the money in her hands, correct?
So we get paid, correct? Yep. Okay. Hank?
No.
Yes.
Mansell?
Yes.
I know Jill was happy with that.
58 Main Street. Nobody here from,
Were they invited? They know they were on the agenda?
I put them on the agenda, because we received a letter from, their attorney, that they need to be signed by the borough, and, you got a copy of that, Chris? That was from, what's the attorney's
Dance.
name?
Dan Stroud.
Dance.
Dance?
No, the other
Dryer.
one. Dryer.
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 Yeah.
Mark Dryer.
And basically it said that we're back to square one, where now we have to guarantee for 5 years that there will not be any overloads, back as it was in the, original, mailer.
Correct.
Isn't that correct?
They made a request for the borough to sign the mailer, which the borough is not required to do, and DEP has made it clear that the borough is not required to sign that mailer.
Yeah, but anyway, in order for us they want us to guarantee now there won't be any overloads again.
My understanding is you cannot do that.
No, that's right, that's right. So.
When did this all come into play? Go ahead.
2 days ago?
I believe, yeah, within the last week.
And
Yeah.
Dryer told you this?
He sent the letter.
It was a correspondence from their office.
Could you send that to the rest of the council?
Can I?
Well, you got the letter, right? Oh, you gotta ask Gordy?
No, the borough got the letter, so.
No, the letter came to Jimmy Joe because he wanted Jimmy Joe, the engineer, to fill out what he could of that
Correct.
document.
It was an email, so.
Yeah, and Jimmy Joe forwarded it to me and to you.
Correct.
Yep.
So can the rest of the council get a copy?
Yeah, I'll get Jimmy Joe to send one to everybody. But basically what it is that, back to what they said we didn't need in the mailer,
That's what they said.
right, that we didn't need that.
That's why I need to see the letter, cause I mean, these people made it pretty clear you don't need it.
Yeah.
Well, and another thing is I found out from the owner of the building, where Preston's used to be, is that their, contract doesn't run out till a year from September.
What contract?
At that location.
Family Dollar.
Family Dollar, okay. But anyway, that's between them and,
So what does that mean
It's
exactly?
not your business.
Yeah, it's none of your business.
so, anyway,
What does that mean?
right now,
He didn't
we
like
gotta,
the building, so he's gonna fight it.
between Chris and Jimmy Joe, we gotta figure out, what to do with that letter. I read it over and you've had a chance to read it over.
Yeah, we'll discuss.
We'll
it.
discuss
We
that,
can
yeah.
figure out how to address it
And
accordingly.
we're still waiting for the shut off for the building, the water shut off?
Not that I'm aware of. The old building, you mean the building is gone?
Yeah.
Not that I'm aware of. Okay, borough zoning and building
Your
permit
operator's
issues.
told several times.
We've got, several properties that have added signs, have added signs on the sidewalk, picnic tables on the sidewalk, fences up, buildings up without any, zoning or building permits. And, we'll discuss that too, at a later date.
I'd like to know about this.
Yep, water plant,
How come we're not, haven't discussed this or gotten any of this information?
'Cause he doesn't
I've
have
never
to
heard
you
of
got
it.
it, I'm giving it to you right now.
I'd like to know the particulars of it.
Okay, we'll get to that. Okay, water plant generator.
I'm not leaving tonight till we get to that.
I agree with you, okay?
None of us are.
Neither am I, okay? Water plant generator grant,
We found it.
$64,000.
yeah, Cindy last month said that there was a grant for that generator.
There you go, my computer, my printer's broke. but
Do you have it? Do you have that grant?
Yeah. Oops, glasses. Says, Dear Penny Jeffers, the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, signed by blah, blah, blah. And it goes on to say recipients may use these funds to support public health expenditures, funding for COVID-19, medical expenses, behavioral health care, and certain public health and safety staff. Address the negative economic impacts caused by the public health emergency. Awarded it by the governor, and that was received June 10th, 2021. And then we deposited $32,028.78, and then we got more money. And then you signed the self-certification budget amount for $64,057.56 back on 6/8/21 for the American Rescue Plan and their budget and how they're going to audit it.
Okay, what budget is in June of 2020 or 2022?
The one you signed for, oops.
I signed nothing.
Yeah, you did.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
Sure did.
American Plant, here, Gordy, here's your signature right there.
Okay.
I'll get them printed out, I just, my computer.
Can you just forward it to the council?
Yeah. It says the most recent 75% of the most recent budget, okay?
Mm-hmm. So you signed it. I'll send you all the
Just-
copies.
Please. This is not our budget. This
No,
is.
no, it's not our budget,
No,
it's
right.
the budget
Yeah,
for,
NEW's
Yes.
budget.
and they
Yeah.
have an audit for
Yeah,
it.
and I don't sign any budget like that, like I said.
Well,
I
you signed that
signed the form, I didn't
Right.
sign the budget.
No, but you
Okay.
signed the budget amount, except
And then, and another thing is the motion was made for Cindy to show us
I don't know why we're still
the
arguing.
grant that
here,
specially
there's-
specifies the water.
Here's the
or
here's the letter right here, here's the
Okay,
letter,
Yeah, but
here's
it,
the
but
money.
it doesn't mention anything about a
Yes.
generator.
What, it only can be used for certain things, and they're going to audit us
Yeah.
if you don't. And one of the things it can be used about is for the water and sewer system.
We're not denying it, but it does not specify that it has to be used for a generator.
Kat, what did we apply for?
Generator.
You have a copy of what you applied for?
Yes.
Show that to me, please. Someone make a motion for Cindy to bring that application for a grant for a generator.
It
That's
could-
what you're asking.
It can only be done for certain things, and one of the things we chose was for the water and sewer plant to get a generator because we needed one.
How do you?
I don't understand what is so wrong with that. Why
You-
don't you wanna
there's
spend the money
nothing-
on a needed
There's-
item?
We don't have a problem with spending that, but you
Okay.
said that there's a specifically
You've been
for a
fighting.
generator.
You have
Show
to
it
do
to
it,
me.
you have to do it for the water and
Okay.
sewer, you have, okay, then
See, it's-
pick a public health emergency.
Right.
Okay.
You only have
It's a
certain
generic-
things to do it. You can't do
Okay.
it on a pothole.
Okay,
Or you can't put a driveway in it.
yes, well, you could fix it.
There's
You could-
only,
there's a lot
here,
you can fix the
invest,
road for it.
here's what it says, invest in water, sewer, and broadband infrastructure. That's the only things you can
It also
do.
said safety.
Excuse me?
It also said safety.
Yeah, safety issue. But a generator is something this town needs,
Absolutely.
and it's
By the end of the
required
year.
by DEP.
Yeah, it was required in 2018 and 19.
It was, and you have to the end of December to get it. I don't understand. If we don't
We'll take-
spend that money, you have to turn it back in.
No.
Yes, you,
No.
really? Because the lady I spoke to says there's an audit coming.
How
Okay.
come nobody else gets any of this communication stuff?
This was all taken from the paperwork here when I was on years ago.
Before my
It's in the
turn- before
files.
my turn, but-
It's in the files.
So we're done with that. We got that.
See, we accepted over $32,000 for that.
It doesn't specify generator there, what you said last
You
week.
have
it
to
did.
do the generator.
We'll do the generator, don't worry about it.
Okay, that was the whole basis of it.
No, the whole basis of it, last month's meeting, was that you were gonna show us the grant for the generator.
Watch, here.
No, it does not
Here.
mention generator.
But the document she sent.
Can I ask
Take it to
why,
Mike.
why none of this
No.
hasn't been done?
Because it's not, it was supposed to be done prior to this council, and it wasn't done prior to this council. And now that this council is working on it, we'll have it done by December, that's the deadline.
Why not
We were
November?
part of
$50
before your
says
election?
it's not done.
We were part of this council when that. when that
Yes.
was
Well, that wasn't done
Yeah.
by the
How
previous.
you help?
Why have we waited 2 more
It
years?
is Mechanic Street complaints.
Why have we waited 2 more years to do a generator? If it was so important those years.
Well, why was it done those years ago?
Let's go on with the
Okay.
agenda. There's no
Okay.
skipping back and forth.
New business, Mechanic Street
I'll
complaints.
tell the lady you're gonna do the generator then.
See, that's the problem, Cindy.
Cindy, let the borough handle those things, not in the.
I am
Is
the
she
borough.
not the borough?
She is
You're one
part
of
of the
seven.
You're part of the borough.
And you were one of
Okay,
7.
That's
That's
right.
right. Okay,
Well, you're gonna go and tell her?
Oh yeah, I'll go tell her we'll take
That's-
care of it.
there
Don't
you go.
worry about it. He said by the end of the year, so I'll take care of it.
new business, Mechanic Street complaints. We're getting complaints, by people on Mechanic Street of odor coming from a property and farm animals and rats.
Oh, please, spare me. Spare me.
And on cleanup day, Cleo and I saw 2 rats.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you live by the river.
Runs,
There's a freaking
what runs
river.
right
Okay.
behind Lawrenceville Borough? The
Okay.
Tioga River.
Hey, guys.
And what
Hey,
hangs
hey,
out
hey,
in the
hey, hey,
river?
whoa.
Rats.
Okay?
Please, spare me.
Okay, I'm just telling you what the complaints are about.
I don't
Okay.
care, and I know exactly who they came from.
Okay, fine. Okay, lack of zoning for,
And there's nothing you can
Sign
do about it.
and
It's
building
in the
permits.
ordinance, I can have them and I'll have them. Don't care what you do.
You can't be
enforcement.
quiet and let us conduct the meeting. You can leave the.
Russell,
Oh, no,
Shut
you
your
know
mouth.
what? I'd like to tell you.
Hey.
to
This
leave.
is gay.
Hey.
I told Cleo enough. He
Hey.
gets his goddamn nose in where he don't belong.
Okay,
Frank,
Chris?
settle down.
Frank, settle down.
We
I'm gonna
have-
tell you.
we have a
Quit your damn
resolution
lying.
Frank.
pertaining
I
to
think
this.
it's time you left the building.
I'm not leaving the building for your
Now
ass.
keep your mouth shut.
Chris,
Well, you raise your
what
son
are
to
the
a best
powers of
builder.
you for
Hey, watch
handling
your
a
language. You got
situation
3
like
young
this?
kids up here.
I don't care, kid.
I know you don't care.
Frank.
Frank,
Piss me off.
I know, just.
Lie.
Hey.
It's okay, stop. Don't let him.
Moving on.
Okay, well, we're in executive session right now.
of course.
For what? What's the basis for executive session?
Legal matters,
It's not on the agenda.
You can't
I make a
erroneously
motion to
follow-
add
cannot-
executive session for legal matters to the agenda.
Can't, you didn't put it on the agenda.
This is
Motion made by
erroneous
Bob
and
to add that to
unplanned
the
and
agenda.
unnotified. You can't do
second by
this.
Cleo, roll call vote. Gordy, yes. Bob?
Yes.
Michelle absent. Cleo? Cindy?
Cleo doesn't know where he's at.
No.
Hank?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I'm not
That's
kidding you.
right.
Y'all are breaking the law. You can't erroneously call executive sessions and throw
Okay.
people
Hank?
outside. Not in the rain, not in the
Okay.
cold, not in the
Ansel?
sun, not in the 50 degrees.
No.
Okay.
It's against the law.
Motion did not pass to form executive session.
And I have every right to object out loud.
Okay, and at this point, I will let the solicitor read over the resolution, and then he can make his recommendation how he handles situations of unruly people.
If he's worried about mine, then he needs to go take care of 20-pound esky.
Yeah. Now, you ready my space, thank you. not being mean, I just don't know.
Since we're waiting for him to read that, you guys talk.
Who wrote this resolution?
Does anybody but you get a copy of
You
it?
talk to the insurance company about the information they're looking for.
I thought it was the one we had before
For the girl.
that said we
Wouldn't-
couldn't talk, we couldn't be up, we couldn't do
For
anything.
the new budget.
They want the audit.
Shoot, they want a copy of the budget.
Times
Next 2
you
years.
and me.
Yeah, I'm putting that stuff together.
No, she didn't do anything wrong.
If he proves it.
Because the auditors coming or something.
No, that's in order to give them a quote on insurance for next year.
This guy said he was hired by the insurance company to come to the borough.
No, don't worry.
We still have no
I have
agenda.
no idea.
I have to look that
So
up.
there's no executive session posted on the
I have no
agenda.
idea.
Well, what do you mean you have no
They
idea?
can't make
I'm
people
asking you
go
guys
outside
if you
in the
talked to
weather
them. I
because
talked
they
to-
feel like
You
it.
did, but help
And
them.
they did
You
this
want,
all way too.
you wanna get involved, help them.
And elderly
Help
people
them
were
with the
home, and
paperwork.
that's not right. It's against the law.
I don't know what paperwork he's got.
That's my point, help them. You keep saying, you guys, you guys, you guys, you can help them, you're council members.
Because they said to try to contact you guys.
Right, and set up a meeting with Gordy if he needs help.
I don't need help. He said you guys you refuse to talk to him.
No, I'm asking for you to help him.
The insurance company said we refused to talk to
He
them?
said they tried several times to get hold of you and Penzone, and
That's my point.
I'm
He
just
knows
telling you
what's
what they
going
said.
on, but he doesn't
I
wanna
called
help.
Mr. Kenyon about this whole issue.
Okay, so how did you find out about it? We don't find out.
Because they called me because, I don't know how they got my name. I said, I have no idea what's going on. And I called Mr. Kenyon.
Okay, but anyway, I have a first name, Jeff Kyle, that the insurance carrier has been carrying our insurance for 40 years, and he knows exactly how to get a hold of me.
This is a lady.
Yeah, this is a lady.
Jeff Kyle is the old.
It's a lady.
So what is
trying to
it
get
good?
I
Does
know
it
we
do
have
you
people
talk
in the
me
audience that
over?
knows more than the borough.
I specifically say that, so keep your banter to a minimum,
Okay.
please.
Chris, you requested, to do your legal interaction with the borough in executive session this evening, correct?
Yeah, any legal matters we'll discuss in an executive session.
Right.
Correct.
So, we did not get a vote to put that on the agenda, and you're the solicitor, does that need to be put on the agenda to call executive
No,
session?
it does not.
Okay, at this time, I'll call an executive session for legal matters with the solicitor.
Can you be a little bit more forthcoming as to legal matters? Legal matters related
That's the
to,
topic.
That's the topic.
Relating to,
Legal
Gordy,
matters.
Gordy, just, I'm assuming that it's legal matters to discuss the legal ramifications of this document.
That's part
and how
of
to
it, yes,
enforce that
that's part
properly.
of it, yeah.
Correct.
Who wrote that document?
I believe this is a document that I gave to the borough to use
Yes,
for decorum
Yeah.
purposes. Decorum,
oh,
yep.
it was adopted about a year ago.
Jess,
I hope you get an opportunity to watch my former videos.
8:20.
8:20 executive session.
8:20.
And see what these songs about. I think they're gonna be thrown outside. I hope you get a chance to watch.
We don't know.
No, you haven't.
Right?
I don't need to be worried about your health.
I ain't worried about that. If I die, I die. You're gonna tell them some bitch what they know.
This door's probably still locked,
Ah,
just so
thank
you
you.
guys know.
Sorry, I'm going down my house. I'm wondering if it's about your animals.
Where do you think I should stand?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
No, he said it had to do with quorum. No, decorum.
It's the resolution that started after I got Jay Herb upset and told everyone that they were donating the space. It's that one.
There's nothing.
That's what it is. And about
That Jay
interrupting.
Herb
You guys do gotta keep your pads on, and you gotta let them do stuff though. So, I'm gonna talk to you guys real quick. Just me, myself, and I. I hope that you heard the comment that I made to the solicitor about getting an opportunity to watch some of my older videos where you have seen us freezing outside here. In the Sunshine Act, which I did not actually bring my big thing with me this time. I always have the Sunshine Act on me. I'm a little busy to be looking it up right now, but it states specifically in Title 65 that they are to put on the agenda if they are having an executive session, or at least to add it so people can be prepared. However, there's been no agenda. There's been no agenda handed out, so.
Stand right in there and lie to your face. Oh, they do that.
Huh?
Then they
Because I
put
think
stuff
they're
down
going
and,
to.
oh yeah, you know you what the hell it is.
I don't feel like meeting
And they
with my
need to
dogs
stop from
and
just signing
I'm
in.
supposed to shit.
How is it?
No, I just, you know, I know damn well and good it's Janet Krantz, it always is Janet Krantz.
And it's always the same time of the year
When the wolves start spreading their chicken shit out in the field, Janet Krantz starts with her mouth.
And if you want, you can walk in my damn chicken coop, so you don't smell wrong.
And we live right there at Cuyahoga County River, and I'm sorry, but what lives in the river drowns. And if you wanna worry about my house, go over to 20 County.
For like 3 or 4 days, I mean, you came in. And she always complains at the same time.
I'm leaving. Are you coming with? I'm not staying around for this shit. My B is telling me today.
Make way. No, I guess maybe we do need to clarify that, guys. All three of you. Yeah, so I forgot to set it. Did somebody set a timer? They only get 20 minutes. I just did. I got it. No. Why is everything growing?
I know, my head is like.
Green? Because, well, we really could use some rain in case anybody hasn't noticed. I did unplug the microphone.
Is it the borough's lawyer?
Yes.
I believe so, yes. He, however, is not required to introduce himself before speaking, so I wondered for a really long time who it was. Well,
So who invited him?
No, I don't wanna.
well, they need to have an executive session to go over this resolution that the attorney supposedly just admitted to drafting.
I heard what they're going. Another thing they're going over is so that police can escort people out if they're new to the council.
They can call the police all they want, but it's going to be
so
up
that
to the
police
police.
can kick them out.
It's going to be up to the police what the situation is. But you guys, not you, have to keep your hat on.
In the first place, I'm gonna tell you right now.
We
If he
can't
doesn't want any
conduct
swearing in
business.
front of his boys, leave him the fuck home. Leave him the fuck home. I think he brings them on purpose.
Cleo has no idea what's going on. Cleo's motion was to ban the wishball team, but
Oh, he just agrees with whatever Gordy
get
says.
a bill for water. Okay, Grace, about the water. Vicki Willis is actually.
Oh, okay, so he's over there.
Is she inside the executive session with you guys? Hey, Kat.
Oh, yeah,
Hey.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Vicki Willis is inside the executive session.
She should be.
She's not out here.
She needs to be out. She's not even a member of the Lawrence, she doesn't even
She doesn't
belong
even live here.
I'd walk right in there. I'll do it. You want me to do it?
And she would, her, as financials has nothing to do with the resolution or legal matters and is a relevant party.
I know, you're on. I'm all right, it's just my old age.
Good catch, Grace.
Yeah. Well, that's my house.
Kind of reminds me of
You
your
did a
grandma,
great
doesn't
job,
it?
Frank.
yourself.
But I imagine since the water and sewer department has got an influx of what, $700 and some $1,000, maybe you guys will get some credit on your water bills. Maybe you just won't have to pay them at all. I don't think the guy behind me likes me very much. You guys have seen the Sunshine Act. It's a lousy 18 pages. Well, yeah, we'll go back down here. She needs to leave. She needs to be on the building.
That's what he said over at the library.
Watch yourself, Frank. I know.
What I do.
I take up so much room.
You know that, don't you?
What?
You're a damn person running to get to see what I do.
Well, yes, they do.
Want something to film? They got.
Is she out front?
No, they don't even take care of their own
Oh,
property.
I did.
Look at this.
I
This
did
looks
when
like
I
hell.
started. I did when I started. I showed everybody how bad it looked out front.
This is how they take care of the borough building, right here, all fucked up.
Okay, so for the Ion Media,
Look at the high weeds
I did.
over there.
I did go and knock on the door, and then I rudely opened the door because I didn't wait for anybody to respond. I did say to Vicky that that she really doesn't belong in there, but Mr. Chilson stated that no, actually they have asked her to stay so that she could participate in the decision-making process.
On the resolution that we've been presented, which
Apparently.
is the legal matter that the solicitor has informed us. Did anyone ask if the solicitor is being paid by the hour to be here while Gordy doodles?
He's probably paid by the hour, yes,
Okay, so you're
because that's
paying
how
for
it's
him
been
to
in the
sit
past.
there while Gordy is doodling and picking on the library, and the library committee is the only committee bringing reports other than you and the ambulance.
Right.
There's no police reports tonight. There's no fire department reports tonight.
Well, you know
And
what?
2 bills in a
I
row,
would
the fire
think that
department's not
probably the police department reports and the fire department reports didn't happen because they may not have been aware of the fact that the meeting was changed.
Yeah. So 68th anniversary to Jerry and Dolores. So Jerry's the gentleman who spoke. He's the oldest veteran in town, and it is their anniversary today. That's
Their anniversary was
68
last
years.
Saturday.
Oh my gosh! And then we did that on Sunday.
No, their anniversary was
68
Saturday, June 3rd. 68
guys.
years.
You've met Jerry. You met Jerry Sunday when we did the memorial service. You actually met Jerry out here in the parking lot one night.
What?
Fire department's
You got
training.
my finger?
What about it?
He did it.
What happens?
He pulled my
Throw
finger.
that screw gun right
It
in.
happens.
I was holding the bracket up for him. And
Tower the man.
he was talking to Frank was there and he was talking to Frank and Ronnie would say, "Hey Yolanda, the screw's going in, move your finger."
Oh, I want to see that.
But this time it didn't. He didn't say
See, it
it.
healed up nice, didn't it?
Oh, heck, that's just as nice as it could be.
And
Should've
he
been
didn't
the-
tell me
Bumps
this
like I
time.
did, then you worry about
Should have
it.
been the middle
And
finger.
it was huge.
You know what? I got one like that. See? I got one like that.
Is it?
See?
You want that interview? Excuse me.
See, I got
There is
one.
freedom of speech, Terry,
I got
but
one
you
like
have to
that,
be
see?
articulate.
See what happened?
Yeah, I see. My
And
dad.
right there is where a hat should come down across.
Don't worry about it. It's just it's everybody's just tired.
You guys go ahead and restart. Yeah, fire department's training. I don't like the belittling and badgering done during the meeting. I really don't either.
Who wrote that?
People that are watching.
Good, I'm glad. I want to go down to history.
Do you? Get right in front of that camera.
If they write the meeting minutes appropriately.
Well, they weren't in there writing it down.
The one day.
It should already exist. I think this Friday is
So you guys know.
But Adam owns the property.
I usually bring my Sunshine
Again, make sure if everyone sees Jerry Bryant, make sure to wish them a happy belated anniversary.
68 years.
As long as your landlord says it's okay, that won't land, you can't say anything about it. Because our landlord, Adam, told us.
Executive session, section 708. An agency may hold an executive session for only reasons to discuss matters of employment, termination, terms and conditions, blah, 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 to give information and strategy. The executive session may be held during an open meeting or at the conclusion of an open meeting or may be announced for a future time. The reason for holding the executive session must be announced at the open meeting occurring immediately prior subsequent to the executive session. If the executive session is not announced for a future specific time, members of the agency shall be notified 24 hours in advance of the time of the convening of the meeting, specifying the date, time, location, and purpose. So, if anyone has any questions, guys, it's right here. So even though the attorney sitting behind me, I'm not sure if he represents the borough as a whole or if he represents Mr. Chilson, it's right here, okay? It's only 18 pages long and everybody should read it. Grace, we have no access to bills or financial information.
Somebody yelled out about what they're going to do, try to stop the building on this.
I believe so. Well, okay, so he mentions the lease is up until September. That's none of his business. What they do, when they move
what
in their
lease?
property down here, down the road, with Family Dollar.
Oh.
So their lease, they're moving, it's closing in August.
I never saw it, so yeah, I told
Mr.
last.
Chilson thinks that because their lease isn't done until September, that they're required to stay until September, and that is not even his business.
Who owns that dollar store?
The property owner and the lease agreement, right?
New Jersey, the guy owns it.
How do you know that the dollar store with the amounts of money they got?
September.
No, I'm just saying, how do you know they just going to pay off the lease?
Right, it's not Mr. Chilson's business.
Right.
So why is he wasting time meddling around when 2 or 3 months of bills haven't been
Why is
paid?
he into library?
He badgers Miss Lucy for a library committee report, but we can't get an Apex report?
Exactly.
He'll harass and badger you?
Exactly.
But we can't get an Apex report. We can't get a finance committee report because Michelle is the head of it and she has no idea what's going on or she doesn't show up.
Yep.
What happened?
So where are the people accountable for your water bills? Because they're not here.
Yeah.
You say drugged or drunk?
Why is it okay? Why is it okay to have volunteers in the office to help paint, install locks, doors, and windows, but we don't have a volunteer list for that? No one was badgered for that.
He kept saying, oh, we're not saying we don't want it.
Here's a comment I'll read you guys for Facebook. It's a shame that 3 people hold the borough of Lawrenceville hostage to their whim. Thank you, Keith, for hanging out and sticking around. I know I don't get to comment with you guys and work with you guys on YouTube a lot. And I thank you guys for giving me some things to giggle about because tonight's actually very hard. We've been watching this for a year, a little over a year now.
Well, there's 2 things that I know.
Yeah, Glenn. Fire hydrants. They had some people volunteering to help flush the fire hydrants. That also happened. There was no pressure, no list. Now Bob is the head of the water sewer committee, yet has no accountability or responsibility for what's going on. Now they're replacing both well pumps, but we didn't know there was anything bad. And according to the website and DEP's information that they submit to DEP, both wells are active and operational. So I don't know whose pocket this money is going in, but no one's soliciting bids. You guys heard the solicitor behind me make a comment about having to solicit for the library, but again, the library is the only one who has to do things the right way. So that should make you all very angry.
And I brought that up.
And you've seen it all year. And whatever they want to blame on the last council not doing, you're about to do the same thing. because if you checked out the official election results, you'll find lovely information in there, and I'll tell you, I don't think they really have a chance. They just don't.
Yes. Arlen's in order for the borough, anybody have to do it.
That's
sign
Coach
off.
James
But
is
she
going to
knows.
now and then. But I know for the library, I've already.
Because she's been beaten
somebody have
into
power of attorney?
her brother.
My brother. Well, then her brother needs to, cause that place needs to.
No,
And then
our family, they're, no,
Fred Levanter.
No.
Cody Dibble, my half
Plus
brother,
the family was who
did
I
not
told them all about it.
do anything to that house.
Because Ed's name's also on it.
And
He's in jail.
Ed's in jail. Arlene
It
didn't
is.
do anything with the house.
We talked to
For
him.
a while, so they never
We talked to
cared
one of the
about it.
security guards. That's gonna be
They
Right,
are,
was right across the
right
street.
now they say.
Trip, are you going home?
Yes, I'm going home. I
Okay.
agree with the
No,
They're trying
it's
to
not worth it.
get her to.
You be safe.
But she can't. She's not exiting Arlene's name.
So he's been, let's just say 5 times.
Yes, the grant is specifically for the library's entire.
Party I went to her,
That,
and, alright, it's my mom.
was there later.
But Mr. Chilson took time out of his day to go get an extra, to solicit an extra key for the windows, and then claims that they weren't measured correctly, so it has to be done again in order to prolong the repairs that have been requested. We've been asking for this. Miss Lucy's been asking for this since I started filming, asking about access to the money. It is about to be the 50th anniversary of the library here. I was just there earlier today, finally inside for the first time. It's a really lovely spot. It's an asset to the community. It's also double functioning as a community center because the building here that we're having the meetings in, everything is very halted. There's been no work done to it. I'm not really sure where things have been shuffled around. There's an entire basement, yet we seem to have trouble fitting everybody in for a meeting or places to hold community events. No, the council has no right to hold the funds. I think everyone should agree on purchases made, which, unfortunately Mansell did not make that motion. Mansell or Cindy could have made that motion. Instead, I don't know why they want to be documented as not making motions and getting involved and being specific in what they want to see happen. They seem very discouraged and they're not making any motions at all, even though I heard Cindy let Mansell know for sure that she would second his motion. Even if the vote fails, at least you go on record having had your say, and I think that's really important. I document it. We know the meeting minutes are messed up. I'll do the best I can to show you guys what these actually look like, because we haven't gotten any since Dana last year. And I do have some questions about Miss Willis's description about the computer.
She goes, "You have one sister that can hit you."
I agree, sis. I think that should stand for Mr. Chilson as well. I think that he should also have to be respectful and polite, and like a public figure should be, when they're trying to conduct business in public and not doodling on papers. Again, I don't know why only certain rules apply to certain people, but it depends on what the gig is, what the job is. You guys remember the gentleman's agreement between Mr. Chilson and Mike Morse about the mulch was pertinent in order for Mike Morse's company to handle this mulch ordeal, and then guess what? Lawrenceville had to hire snowplow and salt cindering. They had to solicit. They got one bid. So
She said it's been in place for years.
I'm sorry. I can plug this back in. There was a lot of things going around, kind of 360 degrees inside today, and I wanted to try to make sure that you guys heard everybody, and I am also standing behind the camera, of course. So that usually doesn't help. I'm not sure, Keith. That's probably a good question. I think observation. I hope you guys can still hear me. I think his observation angle was much better from sitting behind me.
You better have that ready.
Do you guys have a comment about how different the sound is, it certainly gets rid of the road noise, maybe some of the side conversation. You may not be able to hear me still as well, but it does kind of change the dynamic. Thanks, Tiger. Yeah, Grace, I did a real quick video, showed you guys the demolition of Annie's across the road here, and I just want to keep an eye on the door because we're past. Yes, Tiger, I know my timer went off too. Show you guys the demolition of Annie's over there that still appears to be being stopped up by a couple members of council. No bill payment to Glenn, the solicitor, while behind me. I don't know if you guys could hear it or not, but the solicitor did say that the bill for the computer for Lawrenceville Technologies is going to be covered out of an insurance check. Although he's not sure exactly which policy this insurance check comes from or why. But numerous times over the last year and month or so, we've heard Mr. Chilson talk about this $100,000 policy for theft, and I'm going to ask him during public comment if I get an opportunity, maybe you guys will be around for this, if that makes theft okay. Because that's kind of the context that I'm receiving the message, where he keeps reiterating that we have $100,000 protection against theft. Yes. Yeah, Glenn, I said something directly to the attorney sitting behind me, and I didn't get any kind of answers.
Well, no, box is being dragged.
The attorney is not here for the people, although he's being paid by the people by the hour, while Mr. Chilson wastes his time and all of our time by doodling and crossing out names and hunting for paperwork because, a secretary would be helpful. But
I know, I actually looked for that specifically.
yeah, fraud is a little different than theft. So, yeah, I tried to get some clarification on that, Grace. I didn't really get much. I was hoping.
It wasn't kind of ironic that they said that leases and a phone for a year after. That's bullshit.
We're going a little bit longer than I anticipated tonight, maybe. On the claim, Glenn, that's going to be impossible. But Chris Kenyon is the attorney sitting behind me. No. Tonight. So he's who I would contact.
How did your little one like bingo last night?
So
She liked it. She was all happy that she won.
Yeah.
So.
I don't understand why.
I'm pretty sure, Marilyn, that the policy was purchased when Mr. Chilson and them became elected, and then he became president. He mentioned sometime last year that he was the one that purchased this insurance policy, just to make sure that if any theft happened, the borough would be covered. Now, does that insurance policy cover the trust fund for the library? Because it is not. He's ignoring state police and me. Right, so a lot of questions about the insurance policy. We've never seen any documents on it. Cindy did not bring the grant information with her tonight, although the public records are supposed to be in this building and it should be really easily accessible. The website is still there, not being updated, but it is still there. He's ignoring state police and me 100%. That's a trend. That's normal. And it may not be an ignoring. I'm truly maybe concerned that Mr. Chilson hasn't had a physical or a cognitive test in a year or so, because if you watch my content, starting back to the beginning, you can clearly see a digression of his ability to remember things, documents, conversations. I find it absolutely redundant that he keeps telling people these things happened or didn't happen, and you guys have my whole video here. It's uncut, it's unedited, you have all the information. So he also ignores me too, Glenn. I would say that I can definitely relate. So,
how long does that take?
They're only supposed to be about 20 minutes or so, but we're actually not freezing to death this time.
I wouldn't bet on it. They're not gonna let you.
We are the world. We are the people.
Oh, the solicitor actually, he may be, because, you know, ignorance is bliss, but it's not an excuse for the law. And maybe they'll figure that out sometime.
He's out there drinking wine. I'm surprised. No, and then he's.
Yeah, he did. That poor little dog's gonna break. They have to get a wooden stopper. They need one. I personally will make them a wooden stopper.
Angie, just look at the problems you caused.
I know.
Go Angie.
Always.
Keep doing it.
All right, so I'm gonna see if I can't share this with these guys on the feed.
Not yet.
Yeah. I think they're yelling.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
Yeah, they need.
They yell at you? They take the phone or no?
We got the message.
Look at my finger. Wanna know what happened?
What?
My dad screwed it with a screw gun by accident.
What happened?
I was holding up a bracket for him. He only had one arm, so we were screwing it in. And normally he would, when my finger was turned
I don't give a shit if they yell at me.
He would say, Rhonda. The bill's coming in. Move your fingers. But he was, I let you know. The Frank was down with us. He was talking to us or something. And he's holding, I'm sitting holding it. And he didn't tell me my finger, and the drill bit got right on my finger. I went through 3 Band-Aids that day.
Copies.
Oh, crap.
Give me just a second, guys. I'll get you this information here. Maybe the solicitor also get a chance to take a look at that whole 18 pages.
Daddy, I'm telling everybody what you did to me.
That's good.
So, is it most people, guys, don't want to be interested. They're not interested in politics. They don't want to be involved. They want to go to work. They want to come home. They want to eat dinner, watch TV, rinse, repeat. All right. These people haven't received a water bill, I mean, in months now. And yeah, a lot of people are paying the minimum. I've talked to a lot of folks that are paying the minimum. I've talked to a gentleman who's got a meter that's not even hooked up, but he's getting a meter reading every month from a meter that can't be read. So there's just so many things that don't. If you caught my little short this earlier, I can't go any farther. I either need an attorney or I need more money. So we need that.
You know, more than usual.
Yes, your attorney is inside and he's not working for you. But you're paying him.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's actually he's been doing that for years.
For tonight, you should
Alright.
Probably.
I mean, I know.
I feel like he should be surprised.
Like, oh, okay, you know.
25 or 130 something.
No. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
talking about?
Did you hear what he said? Yeah, she said that.
I figured I'd go clear over there so I didn't get in trouble. Told Kara I had to listen, I'd get spanking.
What did she say at the January or something? Yeah. February?
January, yeah.
You might be right. Maybe one hand washes the other. I mean, that's usual business, Glenn. But like you said, I found it odd that Miss Willis told all of us that none of her employees are working on this gig. Wouldn't that be more efficient since it sounds like a really big mess?
Well, because
Wouldn't you
there's a
put one of
minimum
your
that you
people
can
on
do.
to help you sort it all out? Pretty confident that if you do accounting and bookkeeping, this isn't difficult, right?
I'm
still struggling to understand
just like that.
How it is.
Did you see where that Glenn wrote a thing
I
on
did.
the page? I just
As
now
the-
went
He's
to
still
there.
watching.
Yeah.
As the CPA,
Oh, he's watching it? Oh.
bearing the responsibility for the funds. How can you be comfortable? They're saying it's because it went to insurance.
But they won't
Yeah.
tell us
Yeah,
that they've
insurance
assigned
fraud,
someone to
they say?
check
Yeah,
them.
but
Like
he-
we have
he-
the letter from
he
before
forgot-
where the
he
attorney
forgot to
said that Chris
say
is
that
the
he
one
boxed it up
who
and tried
has
to
the
send it
authority,
back to Glenn.
you know,
Glenn
to do
was
this and then
like,
transfer the
after he
passwords.
It's clear.
Just like the computer. When Dana
forgot
left,
to say that.
did she change the passwords? Did Mary Beth change the passwords after Dana left?
No, I
Because
don't
that should have been a
understand
thing.
They're moving like
Well, I would
crazy
like
on
to know.
keeping
I think that
tight
might
over
be my
it. But with
question
us, they're not
today.
doing it.
Well, and they
Is
were
if the
in town
passwords
last
were
week.
changed,
She told me they were
if
in
Mary
town,
Beth
so
at
Attorney
least changed to
General?
put her own passwords in order to secure the computer
No.
from previous
No,
Well, that's what I'm saying,
doing
but
all
why
that
would they
shit
come
for-
here too? It's so
Usually,
close,
my
it's so far
understanding
away
is
where
that
they're coming.
past protocol has been when a secretary leaves,
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I
they
don't know.
change the
Which is
password,
worse.
and that change is in the
That's
documentation,
what I wanted
that
to
is
say.
in the,
that I made sure was inside sealed envelopes inside of the sealed envelope.
Right,
And
which
if you
is what
remember,
was
I don't know if you
described
were
to me
there at that
last
time.
time.
But at the meeting, I handed all that information off to Chris Davis.
Yep, you sure did.
And then
Glenn says yes, passwords were changed after Dana. He would know. If anybody knows, he would know.
I didn't like the dig about Penny either.
No.
Yeah, he said she.
Well, he's gonna blame
Oh, I'm
everybody
pretty
but
sure when
himself.
Penny finds
Well,
out that
he
they're
threw-
bashing on
he threw
her.
the
Well, she
council.
threatened him for not saying her
sounds
name
right.
again, so she told me I was in there sitting by her when she said, don't you ever say my name.
So,
Yeah.
you do. Because
No, you're right,
tried
Raj.
to get Jessica to pull her
Mr.
up.
Chilson
Just
has
before-
admitted to having water in the building over there,
and
and there's a lien on it
Yeah.
He had like a
that expires this month, I think.
I have it. I have it.
trash the counselor because you have bad decisions made. It was because of Cleo and
Yeah.
Ken Zone and I'm like, are you
And they're
kidding
still
me?
playing the
And
game.
you're still playing the game. What has he got on?
Glenn, my
That's what I
report
wonder.
also
What
shows
does he have?
passwords
What does he
prior
have?
and changed. So, it's great. Actually, thank you, Glenn, because they wouldn't be able to answer any of these questions.
It's unbelievable.
So,
The previous
And,
secretary,
you know,
the
when-
one that
when
just quit,
most-
she
hopefully
had
we get
emails
a majority.
going to her
It's
personal
still
cell
gonna be
phone
rough
for her.
waters for years,
Oh, yes,
probably.
yeah.
it's at frontier.net,
How much
isn't it?
time did he spend on water stuff?
That's pretty
Like, what,
easy
5
to
minutes?
just add into
3
your
minutes or
phone
I didn't
with
think
a
they were ever gonna
password.
approve the bills, and I have no idea what the bills are. What'd they pay?
With, I don't know.
You bet.
Well, did they pay last month's bills? in?
Hashtag renew the
Pretty
lien.
thick stack, wasn't it, from what I could see?
Well, at least Cindy got a look
I
at it.
believe that's this month. It's June or July. I'll have to pull my copy out. I have the copies.
It must be the billing committee didn't work out and
Yeah,
they
it's
wanna
this
change
month.
the building.
Maybe you guys should bring
See,
that up
I
to
thought it
the
was-
solicitor while he's in there.
I have to look back at my
I'm
notes.
pretty sure it's on the agenda for last month that said billing.
What's a billing?
That has water
They
that
were
is
gonna
turned
do
on
the
to.
bills. That's the way I interpreted it.
While it's
I
not
don't know.
occupied, he's
No,
not
I
renting
should-
it. There's
I
no
don't
lease
know.
agreement.
I'll have to
I
look.
could be wrong. They're saying there
Well, I
is a
write
person
stuff and don't even pay
that
attention. I write,
drives
I
a
just
black
write what I
pickup
think.
truck.
And I think
It's
I
like
have a picture
a
of it.
Chevy,
Yeah.
I believe,
There's a
A
lot
lot
of
of
that
different
has been
pickup
going
trucks
in
around
and
here.
out of there
I know.
and taking material in and out.
And
And I
everybody
said,
making
well, I
comments,
don't
snide
know
comments
that
about it. I
it's-
can't get on the.
It looks pretty vacant to me. It's looked vacant to me since I got here last year.
Oh, that's how I got my copy.
Over here by Dee's, Cherry Street.
No. And Clark's, where that fence is.
Oh, they weren't fixing the water. They were servicing the lift
Well,
station. Yeah, they were.
Gordy goes in there late at night and messes around,
Well,
right?
that sucks for him. He dies in there. That's his fault. Hopefully, the insurance doesn't cover it. That better be an entrance. Your own
I'm
risk.
just
He's
letting
not
you know.
certified for
But he's
confined
been-
spaces.
he's
That's
been
why
snooping
she's had
around
to come for
our
that.
neighbors right there, cause he's the one that put the fence up. And
So is he on Mr. Butter's property by the lift station? Is
pretty
on
much,
Mr. Butter's
yeah.
property, but
Yep,
if it's there
but
to
he's in
maintain-
there late at night.
Yeah, he goes in there and snoops
He's
around.
around late at night.
Drives around and looks and
Yep.
looks at everybody's places, see if anybody's building anything. Just, you know.
He
must
stopped
think
by
he's a
my
cop
house
or
one
something.
time. We had,
Well, that would be kind of the essence of if you were zoned. if you
Yeah,
were
Glenn,
code
that's a good question too. We're very business minded.
enforcement
Vicky's
officer's
also being
responsibility
paid to sit
would
here
be
too.
to go around.
But it's not his responsibility.
Yeah, there's a
But
bunch of
he
people
had-
and they're
he
getting
had
paid to
some
be
kind
here
of documentation that I think you posted.
by
that had
your
some
tax
kind of a
dollars.
resolution statement to it
Yeah,
that-
what are we
that said
paying
that
him on
when you
overtime?
don't have a zoning officer,
Or what are you
don't have
paying
a code
her
enforcement
too?
officer,
Who?
She didn't. Vicky
they're
Willis
responsible.
didn't come
Oh,
out
yeah,
here
she
for
didn't come
free
out here
either.
just for free.
It
And why is she in
refers
there?
to-
Apparently,
Good
it
point.
pertains to whatever their legal issues
So he
are.
has everything.
Helgamo went in and asked, and they told her that they had invited her. And you
Yeah.
can be invited into an executive session.
If it concerns you.
No, I got invited in one time and it didn't concern me at all. They wanted me to hear what was being said. And I went in and it was bullshit. And it's not even fair. So I would-
I guess they're tired of this bullshit.
Thank you guys for sticking around. You know how these executive sessions go. They should serve us coffee and snacks. Like this break where
They
they
should have
go,
a bathroom.
where they go
30
these.
degrees.
Oh God,
There
yeah.
is a bathroom.
They should have a bathroom there.
Can
Hey,
you
there is
use
a
it while
bathroom.
they're in
All you
there
gotta
with
do is
the
go
door
up there and
closed?
tap a keg.
Go where?
Just go up the steps and tap your keg.
I think there's a sink and a kitchen in there
can
too.
go in there behind Lucy. I'm telling you. I just used the. You can go up there if you want. Just make sure you flush the toilet.
I looked everywhere.
Yes, don't
There's
forget.
another bathroom right over here.
Did anybody approve my poster on those pictures?
Yep. You got the smoke from Canada.
Okay. I didn't notice. Oh, Glenn's right on you too. Oh,
Who's
Cat
that?
wrote on you too. That's what you guys have been doing back there.
What's
I
her name?
see.
So, is the meeting over?
The green, one in the green.
Darlene.
Darlene. I'm gonna bring up 20 Kawaneski Street only because I want them to mow that yard because when I walk it with my dog, I'm in weeds coming all the way out that are all the way up past my knees now. So there's no sense. Mr. Birdsall dedicates 40 hours. Huh? What'd you say?
They haven't bought the sickles yet.
Yeah. Well, that's what they're going to end up needing pretty soon. But you know, in Gordy's letter, he said Mr. Birdsall dedicates 30 to 40 hours of his time every week. So I'm going to say, well, since he dedicates that, why can't he get over there and clean that yard up? So,
Well, I don't know how true it is, but I heard, this is what I heard from one of the workers at the sewer plant, that that Kubota that they got, they bought one of those long blades that stick out to do the bank, and they won't use it.
Dude, it's right here.
Because
Procedure.
they're afraid to use it.
Members
They're
of the
afraid they'll go
agency
over the
shall be
bank.
notified 24 hours in
Yeah.
advance of the
Okay.
time of the convening of the meeting,
Now,
specifying date, time,
that-
location,
that
and
came
purpose of
from
executive
a
session.
worker,
So what is Mr.
about-
Attorney's
Not
problem?
that many workers there, so it's
Does
probably.
This
he
was a
think
couple
that
years
this
back.
is just a suggestion?
wow.
I was getting to that. A couple years back when they got that
That's
Kubota,
pretty clear cut.
that they bought the attachment to do the bank. And he said that nobody will
And
do
it's
it because they're
perfectly
afraid they'll
okay,
go over.
according to him, that no one gets any
Jerry
agendas.
and I went down the one
So,
last
yeah,
year.
make
cut
it up
the
as you go.
bushes.
So whether the guy was telling me the truth or not, I have no idea that he worked there.
Yeah, 15 seconds
the
or less,
bushes.
by the way.
Cause it looks like crap.
I am not going to pee
Yeah.
on the
And when
weeds,
they
Tiger.
said they did
The smoke
the-
is thick
the
here.
dike,
Yeah, it's kind of.
where they did the dike,
Well, it's getting
they
dark
did
here. I'll show you
each
guys
side and they
Al's
left the
parking
top
lot.
off.
And we'll walk
Right,
this
they got
way
it.
a
Makes a
little
lot
bit.
of sense.
Well, yes, but
But it is very, very hazy here too. And everybody, you know what? I'll show you again, just so you guys can see there's nothing happening here. I don't know if there's a shortage of employees in general. I know that there's a shortage on a secretary and a code enforcement. Oh, this is the box that's been mentioned. I don't know if that's one of the new cameras or the old cameras. Somebody did it kind of cut out the handicap sign, but yeah. And they didn't open the front door either, so we've talked about locked doors in the past. Yeah, that's what happens when you go to visit Canada and it's on fire in the beautiful new firehouse. And yes, the changing of the day of the meeting to a Tuesday from a Monday makes it difficult for other members of the community and other leaders of the community, such as the firehouse and the police department, to get here to share their reports with us. The ambulance report, yeah, they may not have made a lot of money, but 2 transports and a couple of calls sounds like everybody had a good Memorial weekend and safe. I would love to know what the police report actually turned up on that, because I think that it's a good indicator on generally how well everyone performed as human beings, I guess. So,
I'll check my notes.
yeah. Yeah, I took some photos earlier. They weren't necessarily for anything other than me, but
Yeah, he can take a Jimbo.
He's an asshole lizard.
He can take a flying leap.
still just debris. But the other park is like this. I didn't go over to the other park today during the daylight.
Well, Adam.
I had to figure it was going to be dark before we got
Jay
out of
is
here.
my landlord. I have 3 landlords.
Adam. I've got the kindest heart, Jane, because Jane owns my trailer.
I like it.
I
Adam always treats me good. That asshole,
Great guy, Adam's a great guy.
I made it clear to Adam that Jim.
Okay, so Gordon Joseph can't be impeached.
Jim, getting us kicked out. Jane
Can't be impeached. He's too close to being out.
We called Jane
elected,
because
so.
I was mowing the dust.
I posted the official election results. Yeah, Glenn, I agree. And like I said, at least we're not freezing. I did post the official election results. They're they're great. These boys worked really hard. Everybody worked, together to make sure they got the word out. And we worked really hard to make sure that you guys could see things firsthand. We don't edit it. Sometimes it's opinions, but at least we admit it when it's opinions. And we like to admit when we don't know if we're wrong, or we might be wrong, or we were wrong. We found out firsthand personally what happens when you do Mr. Chilson a favor. I went up and reported the water tower being repaired properly, unlike the other major media outlets who just went up and filmed the stick in the water tower, and then I was accused of trespassing. Although 2 council members called me to let me know that it was repaired and I was welcome to go film it or take photos of it, which is exactly what I did. Mr. Chilson didn't like that. You guys can go back and watch one of my... They are hoping that we leave, but I will go back in for the adjournment. Grace, you know it. They should know it by now. They discredit my videos, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be real in their brain. It doesn't make it any less real for everyone who gets to it.
I know that me and Jim don't get along, and he's doing everything he can
yeah.
to get me kicked out.
Well, I think he's doing more like everything he can to get your.
Yes, but the impeachment for those impeachments were based on way too much speculation and way lack of evidence. So you have to keep in mind that we need substantial evidence, which is working its way in. It takes time. It takes time. Unfortunately, Mr. Chilson doesn't hold the popular card like
Put a whole new rep on it, painted it, and I moved over to let me keep it.
aspirations. Maybe that's what he inspires for. They still did it. They did it. And you know what? It was just a big a waste of time as this is right here. Because they're hashing over that resolution that says I have a bunch of rules and I'm not allowed to put anything anywhere or touch anything or use a table or a chair, and maybe I'm supposed to be standing, but there's not room for me to stand with my tripod in the designated area. You guys can go back and watch the short video that I made. Because a lot of my videos are about myself somehow. But it's part of my mission, right? Truth, transparency, and informed decisions, and I would really like to see some of that. I think we've got all summer. So. While I'm standing here, you guys know I have a PayPal. I have Cash App. You can contribute to me if you value my work and what I'm doing here and how I'd like to expand and do a little bit more than just Lawrenceville, so that we can see some examples of other struggles that folks go through. This is not the only little small town in America. I'd really like to do that, so... They did pass the resolution. And then tried to enforce it by telling me where I can and cannot use input equipment. They tried to stop me from filming, trying to stop me from recording audio. They've made it very, very difficult for me to put a quality product together because they don't want me here, but...
I apologize to him, and I still don't know what it is. I apologize to him.
I won't wear a hat inside a public building. I would not wear a hat or leg or any of those things. You know better. You guys know better. What are we listening to up there that you guys can hear that I can't? Alright, if you didn't get a chance, I posted the, it's not the resolution, it's the Title 65. It's the rules for executive session, just in case you didn't get a chance to see those. But I think we just got the okay to go in.
I think.
Yeah, let's find out. Or they're
Somebody asked and they said, I don't think so.
Oh, Glenn, I don't feel any need to apologize. Haven't done anything wrong either.
No, they met. So, they came to the
who's
library.
gonna? Are they in using the bathroom, or are we allowed back in, or what? So they can adjourn.
It's possible, but I'm just saying that they didn't open it back up, people just went in the door.
Oh, no, they just went in to sit,
Whoa.
I think they just went in to sit.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's no benches or anything here.
There's a couple chairs.
I have some on. Yeah. Oakley makes classes with cameras on each side with audio. Yeah, of course I am. That's the best part about it. It's the opportunity for me to talk about my feelings and my thoughts. And wow, watch the sun go behind the mountains, guys. Yeah, I'm just trying to patiently wait.
Yeah, but they're in executive meeting still, so.
Still, yeah. I mean, unless are you watching the front door just in case we missed the memo?
It's locked.
Oh, it's still locked? Yes, they most likely will adjourn the meeting. That's the point. That's what they're hoping.
Yeah, so I just looked at the old meeting from last week.
No, nothing. No, none of it matches what I filmed.
Nothing's matching. So.
I know.
So if you can make up your
yes,
own.
Grace, I will go back in.
If you can make up your own agendas now and old meeting minutes, that means whatever they just signed is not accurate.
Well, and I think that's why the attorney's here tonight. Even though the attorney admitted to drafting that resolution.
Well, the attorney's not here
for the borough? For the council.
Oh, nothing.
Because from what I understand, him and Gordy have a direct line of communication. So what is he needs a meeting with the council members during this?
So they
can hold a meeting.
Can we help you?
Anytime.
Anytime. This is
I'm just trying to hand in some paperwork.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a
For what?
legal.
Hey, you're the mush ball dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh!
That's why I said yes. I'll take it. Thank you. I appreciate you.
But people got to remember, he's
Thank you.
here.
That's why I got, yeah. For bringing that. I need rock.
Well, we were down there.
So he's here representing the council on your taxpayers' money.
Yes.
No, we all just left.
That's exactly what that's.
I already gave my money to TJ. You should have it.
So you get to pay for Gordy to have an attorney for his screw-ups.
Well, somebody said
Well, I mean, Gordy makes the motions, votes first.
Right. But he's there for the council. He's not there for anybody else.
So you're paying
when people
for
ask
their
him things
representation.
for support to help,
We are.
they give him stuff to look at.
Yep.
He's not there. He's only there for one purpose.
He claimed he wrote that resolution
He did write
behind
the.
me.
He wrote the. He didn't write the resolution.
No,
wrote
he
the draft.
cloned me. He told me he wrote the resolution that was in his hand.
That resolution had spelling. There's no way an attorney wrote that.
I heard him. I hope this
I think
heard
he wrote
him.
the draft.
Well, then he should be reading the document that they passed.
I think that's why he was going over it. He's
Well,
never
I
seen-
told
he's
him,
seen some stuff he hasn't seen.
go watch my videos, man. And I just posted the title 65, section 708, 709 about public executive sessions. And they need to notify everyone 24 hours in advance of an executive session, date, place, time, and what it's about. 24 hours. So I'm not really sure why the attorney inside doesn't read an 18-page document.
At some point I might say stop.
Don't know either.
That makes sense.
I don't know.
I know why he's here and who's
The one lady's
not for anybody else.
Glenn, you're right, but these people have been through a lot.
66.
He says the people leaving showing Gordy he wins, and that's why he does it. You're correct. They hold these very, very, very long executive sessions. There's no place to sit. At least up at Herbs, we had benches, and we were actually quite comfortable at Herbs. You know, and if anybody was open, we were always allowed and invited to use the facilities. Mr. Herb was very gracious by donating that space. The borough did not ever pay Mr. Herb for the use of that space, although we were told many times that that they pay for that space and it's their rules and they get to make up the rules. So it is, Glenn. They need people like you. They need people to stand up for them and help them achieve what's right. So you're damn right. Maybe they should axe that. motion that Bob changed without amending
That
Cleo's.
and building.
I've got the waivers
I
here.
need a permit for
Let the guys
existing
apply.
deck, for existing platform.
Well,
My
that's what Bob
25 years
changed the
to
language
replace it,
to,
but
instead of banning them.
It rotted.
There's an opportunity to fix it.
So we gotta.
They don't care. They have no respect for the rules of parliament. They have no respect for our government. They have no respect for your rights.
I ain't.
No.
We have people from Reed
Or mine.
who put to the trail.
And I don't live here.
He asked me, he asked the guys if they
Why
had
does he know so
see
much
it.
about what's going on in your house?
Yeah, break
He
lawn
drives by.
chairs.
He stops our place. Our dog don't like it.
I've tried to prepare every single time for this.
Workers would do it in our house.
And I hope everybody heard me get a little loud in there about them throwing elderly people out in the cold, in the rain, and no cover, and no place to sit. It's not right.
Do you have a permit for
There's
that?
5 of them. Go somewhere else.
They were doing inside or
I
outside
find it hard to
doors?
believe that there's no secretary and they can't get the secretari's office. Can't go in there and talk.
Tree hab.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right. You have like 2
Tree hab
extra
is doing
guests.
that. He's being nosy.
Forgot.
Well, how many things has he done without a permit?
I would
I
mention
wonder
it
if he
to-
got one for his new, when he had his driveway paved.
No.
He had a,
Well,
do you remember
I'm
that big,
gonna plug this back.
rally they had with all the cars and stuff? There was no permit for that.
Oh, they're not getting a $100 doing that. Cause their contract ain't.
Button. How's that? That should fix it. Is everything okay?
Just coming to get my kids.
Oh.
Are they inside? Yeah.
Yeah,
The 2 younger ones.
yeah, I think so.
They had to be in there for a merit badge. Go in. Where's, are the kids are in there? As far as I know. They can't be in there.
Down.
Thank you guys for letting me know. You guys are awesome. That was quick. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lots of extra battery juice tonight, so yeah, it's okay. That's why we have all this fun stuff.
I can't believe. Kind of inappropriate to have kids in there and we can't be in there. They don't pay taxes. Kids are in the executive session.
Vicky Willis, who I don't recall, I'd have to check the video because the meeting minutes don't reflect for sure that who voted and they hired her.
Hey, does anyone know what time executive session was called?
This town needs
8:25.
some new ideas.
Yes.
God, we're still out here?
You know what I'm saying?
Fresh brains, people who know where they are.
If the topic's about
We're gonna go there after.
she could be in there. If there's some kind of like, but it's not
What's
just
going on with the library out there?
And everybody said the resolution.
Yeah.
talks about finance.
Yeah, they like that.
All for. Right. So, you guys are very welcome. You're welcome. Well, that took long enough to come through.
Still partying.
Don't stop. It's not over yet.
What are you doing now?
Oh, that's Bob's What was she getting in the van for?
No, I won.
Who's against 40 boots?
No, I won. Cause he's gonna hear it from me too.
Because if he...
I ain't afraid of Gordon Chilton.
Remember, I'm live, you guys. Yeah, we'll leave my First Amendment part showing. They can't. They have to adjourn. I have to stay until they adjourn. You're staying until they adjourn.
Yeah.
Stay until they adjourn. Freeze or not freeze. Yeah. They didn't want you to.
So he's the one that covers all the votes.
Yes. You know, the two pay me scale, by the way.
No, minors.
He's not for the title.
Minors
He's for
and
the
political
Yes.
science.
Okay, he should be for the title people.
You would think.
I don't think it's written that way. It's written for the council.
You would think that kind people would have the best interest in mind and would give advice based on the best interest of the
I'm gonna
people,
call the
right?
militia.
You would think. So listen.
I'm calling them.
Maybe that'll be the next council. Good job. I hear you. So,
You can't, or you can't do that.
I have to get up early in the morning and go to the hospital. Go up.
everybody's got you. Could,
No, just give us hopefully we all go away. No, everyone.
Well, why don't we just all go away?
Because meeting over.
Yeah.
I posted, so the Title 65 doesn't say anything about how long, but it does state that they have to give everyone 24 hours notice.
You know,
Which they didn't.
I'm done with you political freaks.
So, I find it bizarre that the attorney thinks that that's a suggestion.
You need to say to him, takes one to know one.
Listen.
What are you? You're.
I'm the leader of the Lawrenceville militia.
There's no Lawrenceville militia.
Well, we've got more company. So the executive session left opportunity.
That's not on my picture.
Alright. But when you come to the meeting, don't forget your ammo. It's a box of ammo to get in.
I'm starving. That's what I need.
Oh, you poor pathetic thing. You want me to run home and get you something? Make you a sandwich?
Be on your charcuterie board.
Oh, okay. You want it full?
Oh, the meat and the cheeses.
Lucy is the charcuterie person, and I hate saying that word. Don't ever say that word in my presence again.
Job.
No, don't ever say that word in my presence again.
What words?
I
Not that
can't
one.
promise that.
Charcuterie. She said charcuterie 2 times.
Charcuterie.
See,
Now
you
you're
just
saying
said
it.
it 3 times. You're on 3 times, Al.
Baba ganoush.
Well, at least you're not saying baba ganoush.
Baba ganoush.
Nope. But I don't. Is that a cooking thing?
Baba ganoush. It's eggplant dip.
No, I was over
Oh, it's eggplant dip. How could that get so complicated? But they're like, oh, avocados turn into guacamole.
There's a story.
That may have something to do with a whipper.
You might have to say. You might have to tell us. Is it an appropriate story?
Yeah, it's just annoying. It's an annoying story. That's why I say it, because it annoys Al.
So
when
is
you
the
say
song that never ends. And you know what?
It's in the hearts. I don't know.
That's what this feels like. It feels like the song will never end. Although, guys, despite appearances, there are folks sitting inside in the chairs. So everyone has not left completely. Vegan dip. I'm down for dips. It's okay. Al, go home and get a tent. Grace says, Al, go home and get a tent.
Oh, I see the 2 lights down on the first floor. It could be.
Maybe he's hungry too. You guys, usually I bring a snack, but I don't eat in here. Sometimes if we're on a break or whatever,
I
I'll
thought this
snack.
would be about 20 minutes.
Usually it's only supposed to be around 20 minutes. I'm guessing Donna must be inside too. Cat will let us know. We did. We had really great snacks, guys, for primary day, Terry's party. The snacks were awesome. Terry made little sandwiches that were fabulous with cucumber and cream cheese and it's like a pumpernickel bread. They were good. Yeah, I've eaten good every time we come down. And then there's always cheesesteaks at the pub.
Colder down here.
Is it colder down there? Me too, I'm starving. Even though I ate lunch.
I had lunch, but I haven't had supper yet.
I hope they haven't either. Maybe that's why the kids had to go, man. I'm eating so long. So go to bed. It's 9:24.
I go knock on the door and be like, hey, come back in there. Well, that's what he said. That's what I'm saying. That's what he said. I think that's the library. She said that. That can't be there. Might be the library. This one?
I'm telling you right now, I talked to this woman on that job, and they're gonna put the footers in Monday.
Monday.
So I heard that they were finishing up another job.
The guy called me the other day, and he asked me to direct you for somebody that can pick a tree down. Tree next to the shed, on the backside of that property. He needs to come down, and all they want to do it correctly. They're hired tree service, and take that tree down. And he told me that you could hear money to start the footer. He said it's not gonna try to do this by the phone. If they don't have the money, I'll let them.
Can you go to it?
It's really not that awkward. But
I'm darn keys too.
Somebody hit that shut off.
And my leg is falling apart. Here they are. Okay. So, on the back. In my back couch, just under where it says stop.
There's the form of that job. He told me yesterday, he said, either they do it or I'm gonna do it. He said, I got work I gotta do. He said, I'm not gonna work.
Oh, it'd be like going to put that off. You can't.
So you want
Have you tried?
But you'll see my headlights first, because I backed in. I appreciate you very much. And
are you on your agenda?
There's polite and then there's dickhead. They should be This is all in you guys' taxes, whatever,
They were doing paint.
They did not vote for you.
I knew most of them. Yeah, they seem good. They seem good. They didn't seem like they were, so I sat there and talked to them. Most of them, they were fun. You know, I get sure of it. I want to do something. I want to do something manly. I'll paint if you do something manly. But I have to approve it.
He wants to paint a tractor.
I can do a truck.
You can paint my car and buff it out and
No, we're
fix
just
it.
talking pictures.
Pictures? No, you can do my car.
No, we don't want to do that. We want to do a paint.
Too much work.
You could do like a dually and I give you a picture.
She did it. The girl that does the class did it. So you can order.
All you gotta do is ask us to stuff, why do we do that? Well, we can be polite, watch, show, we can walk backwards. Come on, show, we can walk.
There is some theories on that.
Yeah, that doesn't count if you're pulling her.
Is that far enough?
Yeah, well, I just read an article about it, I think it's a little bit, article about it. There are actually 7 wildfires, no, 7 huge wildfires across.
There's only one star.
Like, yeah.
I come out this morning and I went over town and I walked down there. And then I came back to here on TV and then I saw it.
I mean, I'm
And as the day went on, you could smell the smoke.
I could. I got home care, I smell smoke. It's just a little tone in your head.
And then her sister comes down and goes, there's forest fires in town.
Card?
And Dad goes, oh.
Cardinals haven't played that well.
I'm sure you guys still have audio. There's just nothing going on up here by the steps. So we're hanging out. You can see my shadow. See? Okay, so the light is actually back here at the garage, which is behind us. And I'm filming the door because this is the entrance and exit that we are all designated to use. So I think they're just in the lobby part sitting. Oh. Yeah. I mean, how long have we been standing?
An hour or more. Actually more. I'm allowed to go in and use the restroom.
You figure it out, and then if it works out for you, it might be next.
I think we should all go in and just stare them down or something.
We can.
Just everyone make.
Guy came in the store and the guy was going from second to third. Got through out third. And then
Just be lucky that wasn't like one of the little hole trains like on the side of the street. It would probably popped out after.
Everyone just starts singing very loudly, just like in Elf.
so
Singing,
No.
I don't want to be too much in the way, but I'm still trying to catch the dork, so. And I've let things charge too. So as long, I mean, I think you guys can hear like what's happening. Phone's charging back up. I mean, it's been plugged in for an hour now, so. We all we're talking about going in and singing together as a chorus. Yeah. It would be fun. It would probably sound really silly, but yeah, I know. And yeah. So yawns. Don't start it. It'll get stuck in here. No yawns.
Yeah, I think this is about. Angie, you're good.
Okay. I'm good.
That poor little dog's gonna get broken.
It's okay, you can pee in it. It's got water all the time running. You can see the crap in the water too. So, oh guys, this would be interesting. But I'm not an expert. So, circus intermission over. No, it's not. I had to use the facilities, which has got constant running water in the toilet. So someone who knows what they're looking at probably ought to check that out, since it's using borough water and they're at capacity. That's the argument about the store coming in, is they have to promise to stay under capacity. Ha! And I got a private message that I hope is what's going on. And I mentioned to the attorney sitting behind me that I hope he gets an opportunity to watch some of my videos and my content. So that'd be cool. Give him a little idea of what we're dealing with here. I mean, he could show up on the streams even and answer questions. We've had many people from other places come and answer questions that we can't get answers from the council with. So maybe they all had dinner before they got here, and the rest of us didn't quite make it that far. We're almost at a 3-hour feed again. Which, you guys know, when this happens, it's more difficult to pull out what's important. Because there's been most to no business actually handled tonight. They could have just held an executive session, harassed Lucy about the library, and then moved on with business. But that's not what happened. So. You go back to the page, you're going to find a bunch of stuff from Vicki Willis's work from last year. If you go through some of the pictures and photos I've posted, the documents. You can find short videos about how I got here and Mr. Chilson begging people to put the truth on the internet, and then here we come along and we put the truth on the internet. And we're coming to Gordo's last council meeting dressed with horns on my head beating a drum. We would like to all go in and sing, but we can't settle on a song. But yeah, it's definitely getting dark. But thanks for you guys that have stuck around. Thank you everybody for your support. I can't do it without you continuing. Like, share, comment, all of those things help. Thumbs down if that's the case on the YouTube videos. All of the interactions help. So to whoever the individual is that likes to go around my YouTube videos and thumbs down them, thank you. Because it means you're taking the time still to interact with the feed, and every interaction counts, even if you think that it's a negative one. Yeah. Call an executive meeting on the song vote. Ha! There's probably much more parliamentary business being handled out here than in there. So. Hopefully I'm not singing, that's why I have a day job, you guys. You're pretty funny.
It's got a natural sake to it. Yeah, because you get right ahead of that like that. Where a curveball, you're kind of behind it.
I mean, there was comments tonight that didn't come all the way through on the feed that I got to read that I thought was fabulous. I love you guys sharing your thoughts and your opinions. And,
that's why you see all the after they're up in the major leagues for a year.
Yeah.
Because they've been doing it for a long time. They've been throwing those curveballs when they're in the mood.
Gosh, I hope.
Now, in later years when I was playing softball,
Well, let's see here.
because I found ways to make it fun. I mean, if you're pitching softball,
There isn't going to be anything open for me to get dinner by the time they finish this out.
as far as you spread the park and throw it, that ball.
Emails are checked.
And I was just messing around with it one day.
You guys know you can send me messages on the website. You can DM the media page always. If you I mean, if you have questions, I like to do the best I can to bring them up, but you still have to come, you guys. I'm grateful that you're here on the feed, but we still need people to help advocate. Wow, Wow, thank you guys for the interactions, the posts. Thank you very much for the Memorial Day support too on Sunday because I had to work. It was the only thing that I got to film. It was very touching. I'd like to see it happen again next year. And Lawrence police are here, so yes, push the like button, share. I think you can send stars in the comments, and I'm not sure how they work out. I would be curious how that works out.
Baseball umpire, I'll tell you that.
So we're not sure. Maybe they're here to give their committee or they're here because someone called them. We'll find out. No, yeah, you guys are doing great. Troopers, really, for hanging out and sticking around. It's hard. It is definitely hard.
That's where I came from. They summoned me from over. I was over like, that's where we thought we'd be back. Oh.
Ha! Tequilas. We're not even talking about that right now. Is it our turn yet? I'll find out. Thank you, Cindy. Free beer tomorrow. On who, Rod? On who? There's no such thing as free. Even here, not back home. I kind of told everybody a little bit earlier, if you do check my short video out over to Annie's while the sun was still up. Like I said, if you find value in what I'm doing, you want to help out or contribute, gas, phone bill. I'm not paying for document requests anymore because I don't get them. So I have alleviated that expense at least. Always trying to do some better stuff with my equipment. It's really difficult when rules made to make what I do indiscriminately more difficult keep happening, and then they keep changing, and it makes it really difficult to understand. So free beer tomorrow. Well, I heard if you vote for some people, you get free beer. I don't think that worked out though for that individual this time. Yeah, it's starting to really get chilly. Let's see, my watch says 57. Let's see if it's updated. Yeah, so 57 degrees. We've been out here over an hour now. All right, I'm gonna walk away, guys. Talk amongst yourself for a minute. Think of all the questions that we've come up with, speculations. And if you're seeing the smoke and you're not in New York, you missed the free beer. Yeah, I missed the free beer too. free beer here and I'm not running for anything. Keith, we could use a pizza. We were just talking about taking a pizza. I'm gonna go check inside on the girls. Find out.
I'm going home.
watching things.
You ever watch Tom Green?
Yep, watch Tom Green. Seen him. That's gonna look so strange. That's gonna look strange.
Alright.
that dog. Oh my gosh. Okay, there might still be 10 of you on here, and we're starving. We're all sitting around in the kitchen. I want to bring this up so you can at least see, because the phone's doing really good on charge. Now that we've been out here for over 2 hours. There is water in the fridge, though. Straight up that nose, yeah, you might. Okay, this is ridiculous. They should be ashamed. The intent.
Hey, sweetie. Angie,
Yes.
come on.
Oh, good. I'm bringing my stuff at the same time. Okay. Oh, this is absurd. We have to get smaller still. Okay. All right, Cindy. I hope everybody's in because I just shut the door.
Yeah, everybody else went home.
Okay. So what do we got left?
Orders, which is not gonna be here if they were only here for a day.
But the bottom line is, we could require that to be on our policy.
Why would you do that?
It cost us one.
We got more money than raise.
Yeah, you wanna be careful on.
Our policy is $300 a year, whether one's on it or.
No, it's not.
No.
That's not true.
I'd check with your insurance carrier.
I
just-
already have,
yeah.
okay. It's the same dollar amount, the policy. And she's saying no.
33,000, you said $300.
It's $300 are supplemental insurance for volunteers. Period.
No matter how many you have, correct?
Yep. We're not talking about workman's compensation, we're talking about insurance.
Volunteers.
For volunteers, and they have to be on the list. Okay, meeting back. I guess you already did that, Bob?
What are we picking up here? Zoning and building code,
Yeah.
2 incomplete applications, I guess?
No, zoning and building code enforcement. Do you wanna be slack on that, or do you wanna enforce the zoning and the building code? Right now, we have tons of zoning and building codes that have not been enforced in properties.
Nobody wants the job.
No, it's not that, they don't fill out the zoning application, because the building code, then it's, when you take the zoning application to the building code enforcement guy, then he enforces it, but he won't issue them a building permit without a zoning permit. And it's our job to do the zoning permit. I mean, we got
Chris Davis.
Yeah, we should talk to Chris Davis about that one.
Why is that?
Cause he's the one that does that. The mayor does the zoning.
No.
If no one's
Yeah.
available.
Yes, it does.
No, yes, he does, it's in your
Says-
resolution.
Says it
You wanna
right.
read it? Right here.
Yeah, read it. Or did you change
You
it?
read it to us last time.
I have it.
Somebody's got that 300,000 times.
If the mayor or zoning officer is absent or
Right there,
incapacitated.
there's the
Whoa,
mayor,
whoa.
if the mayor.
If the mayor or
Yeah.
zoning officer is absent or
Mayor.
incapacitated,
Mm-hmm.
or there is a vacancy in the office, the duties of the office shall be discharged to the president of
Right.
the council,
Yeah.
or in the absence of, or in capacity of the president of the council,
Correct.
then, or if there's a vacancy in the office, then it's authorized by the vice president.
The mayor's
So-
available.
The
Okay.
The mayor was available,
Okay, if the mayor refuses to do it or not available, okay?
He's not refusing to do
he
it.
didn't refuse to do
Okay,
it.
that's fine, but I'm telling you, you just said that it's the mayor, well, the mayor or the
There's-
president
No,
or the
no,
vice
no, no.
president, it's
No,
right there.
no, what it
It's
says.
what it says.
The
It says
mayor
right there.
is first. He
The
gets
mayor is first.
Absolutely, but,
No, there's no buts.
There's no buts.
Yeah, there is.
Yes, there
It's
is.
an or statement. Mayor or zoning officer is absent.
Okay, mayor or zoning.
If they are absent.
We don't have a zoning officer.
But we have a
And
mayor.
But we
If
have
the
a
mayor
mayor.
is not available,
The
right,
mayor's available.
mayor
I
is
said
available.
if, I said
If.
if,
Okay, if he's out of town or whatever, right?
right,
or if he refuses to do it.
right.
Right, okay, we got a mayor who
Okay.
wants to do it, and we'll do it.
Okay, but anyway, back to that. We've got fences being built, we got porches being built, we've got buildings being built that are not getting zoning ordinances or zoning permits or applications or building codes.
Most people come over here at the office and ask for a permit or ask for information, and since the office ain't open, so
No secretary.
What do you want the people to do,
Okay.
Gordy?
They've been going to Herbs.
Did you get a permit for
They
your
go to
driveway? And how about that, car rally that you had a couple years ago? Did you get a permit for that?
Couple years ago.
That's on private property. It wasn't on borough property. It's
Well,
on
their
private
house is
property.
on private.
And also,
Just talked
my
about
driveway was not
gatherings.
extended. I asked if I needed a permit, and I don't need a permit for replacing it. Same as a roof, same as cutting down a tree. Or
So
replacing a
the
window.
enforcement's easy, right? We need to enforce the ordinance, the zoning and the ordinance.
So you have a zoning
Right,
officer.
so what are we gonna do?
Yeah, you gonna enforce it, or you gonna drag it out?
Well, first you gotta figure
Gotta
out,
get a zoning officer.
who do they contact if they got issues?
That's right.
Do we contact Chris Davis, we need to put a memo out? Or do we contact Joe Blow?
It's not impossible. You can find any one of us council members here, okay?
All right, well, let's put it on the door and
And
let's
say,
post it.
all you gotta
Put it
do,
on the door tomorrow.
okay, then say, what do I do about getting a zoning ordinance? Or not a zoning ordinance, what do I do about getting a zoning application? That's all you gotta do.
Where do they get that?
Well, I got mine from your website online.
There you
mayor
go.
site.
They're online. They're online.
So we ought to write a memo up,
Okay.
if somebody don't know that, they can get it offline.
Okay.
Yeah, cause mine was signed by the mayor.
Is this what the
Yeah,
executive
put it on
session
the
was
water
about?
bill.
Is that your business from the executive session?
No, this is on the new
This is on the
business agenda.
agenda.
Okay, so what happened during the executive session
No action
business?
No action was taken.
Okay,
So for
you
2
didn't
hours,
state
you
that,
sat
so
in
you,
here and
you
you
have to actually state what happened during the executive session and whether or not business was
No, you don't.
conducted, and conduct your business, please. One thing at a time.
We discussed what the solicitor wanted to discuss at executive session. He's the one that wanted the executive
Was there
session.
business conducted during the session?
No.
I'll let him tell you, he's the one that requested
Can
that.
you please state? Thank you.
Can you give Pacific on who's building fences and decks and stuff like that? You got all this. Evidently, you've been riding around, right?
Absolutely. Look, if you know that there's an infraction and you ignore it, you're as guilty as the people doing the infraction.
Wow. I must be guilty as heck.
So.
Am I
So,
right?
anyway, back to the council. So what do we wanna do here about enforcement?
Ignorance of the law is not an excuse. You
I
are
just put a
correct,
memo out
Mr.
there.
Chilson.
Get the permit.
The way I
outlined.
understand
Hey
it
guys,
is.
the floor
No,
is
I just-
closed. No, the
Okay,
floor is
let's,
closed.
come on, it's
Whoa, whoa.
10
He
o'clock,
made eye
let's get out of here.
contact with me and asked a question, so I was happy to.
I was asking the council.
I don't wanna hear any crap about 10 o'clock when we had to sit outside for 2 hours, that's
Yeah.
really not cool.
So,
I
that's
don't really
council, what do we
care
wanna
at this
do here?
point. I wanna get this over
Okay.
with.
It's the responsibility of the mayor, zoning officer, then
He can't be
Council.
fined.
Oh,
he
that's,
goes-
that's for issuing a zoning application.
Right.
Yeah,
that's what we're talking about, zoning and building code enforcement
yeah.
Right.
and permits.
If Chico's not available, it goes down the ladder, contact so-and-so.
So you wanna table that, or do you wanna make a motion to enforce it, or do you wanna?
I think we have to put it on
Well,
the
first of
door.
all, it's already a borough code, it should be enforced. It's already an ordinance. You don't ignore them. But you voted not to enforce the borough codes.
No, Gordy, I want them to do what's right, but they don't have no idea who to get a hold of. The office ain't open, they can't come talk to the secretary, cause we don't got a secretary.
Secretary doesn't issue them.
But they have somebody to talk to, how do I go about it, who do
No.
I see?
All you gotta do is get the application right on the website, like she.
Well, put it on a memo somewhere, so some people don't know that.
Not everyone has access to the internet.
That's not the issue, guys. The issue is who's gonna act, right, and review these
Chris
Well,
Davis,
these are
and
the
address the
people.
issues, right?
Yeah, those are the people right there.
Chris Davis.
So
If he's not available,
if we give him a list and he doesn't do it in a certain amount of time, what happens then?
what's a certain amount of time?
I don't know, that's what I'm asking.
Well, Gordy will do it. Ask him.
Oh, a certain amount of time is.
It could be one day,
Reasonable
it's
time.
set by the,
Reasonable time.
set by the council.
Oh, reasonable,
Thank you.
that's what you should say, cause you don't know.
No, you said it. In a motion.
Well, once they turn in the application, you go and review the application, and there's a bunch of things that has to be done on the application. You gotta have the property lines marked out, you gotta have, what your intent is to do, and whatever, okay? And then they're only signing the application, they're not issuing the application. Then it comes to the borough council, and they vote on it. And then it goes to the building inspector, and he issues a building permit.
May I ask a question directly related to the root problem? Do you know, or your personnel committee have an answer why you can't seem to hire a code enforcement or a zoning officer for the last year plus? Cause that would take care of a lot of this.
You've advertised, but they never,
They don't advertise anywhere but the Penny Saver, which is a very local, small municipal, and you obviously need someone from out of town. What are you gonna do to rectify
Bigger
this?
circulation than any newspaper than the Corning Leader, that's for sure.
Corning Leader doesn't,
No, okay, but
You don't
anyway.
advertise in the Corning Leader. I've never seen an invoice for the Corning Leader, and I've asked for
Well,
them.
you
They're all
haven't
public
been to all the
documents.
meetings.
Are you lying to me about my right to know requests? You just said that there's invoices for the Corning Leader. My RTK come back with Mansfield, that's it. That was the only check
Okay.
paid for advertising. So
Okay.
are you lying on my right to know request, or are
Okay.
you lying right now?
Okay, so what is the time frame that you wanna know? 5 years, 10 years, 20
Right
years?
now, the
Right
last
now.
year that
Oh,
I've been
okay.
here,
None-
right now, what
none
are you
last
gonna
year.
do
Here we go
about
again,
getting
right?
a code enforcement or
We're
zoning
off
officer
the agenda
here?
again.
No, we're not. We're talking
Yeah,
about
yes,
code
we are.
enforcement and zoning.
Okay.
You haven't had a person even apply except for one
Okay,
that
we're
you
conducting
turned down.
business and we're not gonna,
Okay.
you don't have,
All right.
you don't have the floor.
I make
That's
a
your
motion- I
opinion,
make a
Mr.
motion-
You don't have
Joseph,
the
that you're
floor.
conducting
Right,
business.
I make a
That's an
motion,
opinion.
since there's no, proposal here, that we table this item till next month.
So everybody that's, that is in compliant, we ignore it for 30 days.
No, I'm talking about we don't have an enforcer, right? So I'm saying that we table it. Who are you gonna enforce it with? Who's gonna enforce it?
Well, first of all, it's the mayor. If the mayor doesn't do it, then it's the president. If the president
So if
doesn't
it's
do it,
policy, why do we need to do anything?
nothing, we don't need to.
Okay,
Okay, that's what I'm gonna say, is
I
enforcing.
rescind my motion.
Okay.
Just follow the
Code.
ordinance then.
Okay, all right. 2 incomplete zoning applications. Last month I got a, money order and a check, and the money order, or the check, one or the other, had a plot plan with it, and neither one of them had an application with it. You wanna return their money?
they didn't have an application for what project they were
Go
doing.
ahead,
Right.
return it, give me my money back.
You wanna return?
And you get that
Go ahead.
submitted, and we'll send the money back.
Send the money, make a motion to
I'm
send
gonna
the
get my
money.
money back. I'm gonna get my money back, cause I gave them everything, I have it right here, so, go ahead.
So
give me
What's
my
missing,
money.
what's missing?
Nothing, it's right here,
What's
nothing.
missing?
Well,
Mansell
why
was
don't
there.
we have it
Officer,
then?
a zoning
You don't need it, I
officer.
gave it to the mayor and it's already signed, he gave it back to me. That's your problem, not
Okay,
mine.
now the borough council has to approve it. He only signed was the application. Read right at the top, it says, this is an application. Doesn't it say application at the top? Does it or don't it?
What is she gonna do to get on your agenda to get it approved by the council?
Bring it to the table and we'll review it.
Do it right now.
These are my copies, these are not for you.
Okay, we don't have any copies.
We
have
don't
any.
have time for you to review that stuff.
I've never seen them.
Yes, you have.
So
because
meet on your
you
own
had
time,
a copy of
Chelsea.
this at last month's meeting.
This public
Bullshit,
meeting's the
Gordy.
only time y'all get together, because you don't have the
All
integrity
I
to not hold a
got,
quorum.
all I got is a plot
Mr.
plan for a fence and
This is my plot plan that was provided to me when I closed on my house. So you had it last month. You already had this.
No.
Yes, you did, because Mansell gave it to me. Yes, you did.
Mansell gave it to you?
Yes, he gave it you left it on the table last month's
No,
meeting, Gordy.
no.
Yes, you
The
did.
mayor never handed it to me.
How
All I
did-
got is the 2
How
money
did
orders.
you get this? If you
I
said
don't
you
have it. I don't
You said
have
you had a
it.
plot map, that's all you had. So
I
why
don't
you get
have it. The plot plan is from, your neighbor.
She got it from me, McGordy.
She got it from you?
Yeah, she didn't have it. Look at what's highlighted. It's my address, not hers.
It says, it doesn't have your name, it has, let me
My
see. if-
address is highlighted. Pull it out,
Bring it
Gordy,
here,
and
let me
look
see
at
it.
it.
Bring it here, let me see it.
This is my copy.
Bring it
Need a
here, let me see
photocopy.
it.
Make a copy of it, give it to the borough council, have a copy of it on file anyway.
Chris has got copies.
Okay,
It's the
this
same
is,
thing.
this is not it.
Yes, it is. You're full of shit, Gordy.
I believe it's in the office.
Oh, that was last time, wasn't it?
Is it locked?
It's in the office.
This is not what should be happening during public meetings. You guys have got to manage your time better or something else. This is ridiculous.
And Jessica didn't even know she was on the agenda, did you? Well, you guys, that's.
I think you guys should meet on your own times and hash this out. If you don't want our opinion on it, which you clearly don't, meet on your own time.
Since we're in a pause moment, I'd like to bring up something. Several people were using the restroom in here while you guys were in here screaming or whatever it was you were doing in legal executive session. And it was noted and drawn to my attention that the toilet in this front bathroom is flushing itself almost nonstop. Someone should check that. If you got a water bill, you might notice a leak.
It's from Krista Keegan.
No, they don't have.
That's the pot that I have. It was attached to this check.
I know, you got it from me.
Well, they still shouldn't waste water.
Well,
but thank you for pointing
I
it
don't
out.
have one, I don't have this one.
Yes, you
This
do.
one here is a map of Ryan's Circle.
Ryan's Circle, correct.
Okay. And this is a,
That's mine.
okay, I don't have that.
Chris has all those, he showed.
Chris had all of
He
them.
said he
Well,
showed them to Gordon.
he didn't give them to me.
He said he did. He
He's
said
given
he showed-
nothing to me.
He said you asked about it, he showed you on his phone, all of them.
No,
He's the first
no.
Yes, he
listed
did.
authority
He
before
said he
you.
showed them to me on
Yeah.
on his phone?
Yes.
Yep.
Bullshit.
Call him.
He's in bed now. He's in
Wake
bed.
him up.
I ain't gonna read them all.
His authority is listed before yours, Mr. Chilson. You do
When I-
not require these documents if the mayor already approved them. His authority comes first, not yours. And then
Okay,
Bob's,
okay, that's
not
fine.
yours.
Okay,
So
if
why
you-
are you wasting our time?
Because the borough has to approve it.
No
All-
one has to prove anything to you.
You don't understand. All he approved was the application.
Yep.
Now the borough approves the
Why can't
zoning.
you just approve it?
Well, I don't have a copy of it.
Why can't Chris and Bob, the people who are supposed to be in line before you,
He took a copy
hash
of
it
it,
out?
took a picture of it on
Where does
his
it
phone.
say that Bob's in line
You
before
just
me?
read that the vice president
Are you in
is
line
the next
before me?
constable.
President and vice.
He's the last one in line.
Oh, great, so hash it out on your own time.
I make a motion, we accept their.
We haven't
Thank you,
reviewed them.
Mansell.
I've already seen them.
He's
I
already
haven't
seen
seen
it
it.
Wait,
clear.
wait a minute.
Oh,
So you knew all about this, the check's sitting there, and nobody knows what's going on.
I was there with Chris when he went there.
you went to the house?
I was with Chris, yes, he told you this.
And
And
what,
then they walked
he never
across-
told me.
He showed you, I wish Chris was up.
He told me last Friday that he said, I told them to fill them out online. I told him to get them out online,
When you guys have committee meetings,
That's not what he told me.
okay?
Uh,
So,
He's
so
got
where
my
are
phone.
they? Where are they?
On his phone.
He has the application on his
He
phone?
took
He has
pictures
all of
of
her information on his phone and he handed the hard copies to you.
No.
You're the only one
It should be
depending on
on
paper.
paper in the file.
It is. He said it was.
Chris told you that he gave them to me
Yes.
and he, from his
All right.
phone.
Showed you
All right,
pictures.
He had them on his phone.
So Mansell made a motion to
No.
approve this, that the,
Then
hello?
why am I chasing him for him and he tells me, I told him to fill out what was online, is what his
you're
case
talking,
was.
yeah,
I have
ask
no
about
idea, you must be
somebody
talking about a
who's not
different issue
here.
then.
He's not here.
No.
They don't have to
So
convince
Mansell
only
made the
you.
motion
There's
to
1,
approve
2,
this.
3, 4, 5, 6 people that can vote on this. They do not have to have your
Bring
approval.
us,
Yeah, but the person
have a
who
vote.
signed it's not here.
They don't have to have your approval to have a vote.
It's
Nancy
not
just
here,
put a
but
motion
you
on
signed
the
it, that's
table.
the point.
hold it, bring me the application and the borough will look it over and approve it tonight.
Okay, and do I get my copies back tonight? You
When do
don't
I
think
submit
things-
an invoice to you, Mr. Chilson,
I'm
for
getting
my
my
time?
copies back.
Do you want it approved or don't you?
Where's the
Let them
copy
approve
machine?
it and then get them back. No, they're not. I'm bringing copies. It's literally 100 square feet around the backside from my deck, around my driveway, just 100 square feet, that's it.
Chain link fence?
Nope, vinyl.
Huh?
Vinyl,
Vinyl.
white vinyl.
How is it first property line?
Oh, I know he does that.
It's 100 square feet, it's going not even near the backside.
Where,
of the property line.
okay,
Where's
where's
the
the,
property line in there?
okay,
Way back here, this is just like 100 square feet around the.
give me the application. Property must be staked out so
It
the
is.
inspector can easily verify all
It is.
measurements. Okay,
It is.
and what's the measurements? On your property lines, where's your property lines?
This is my house, it's literally 100 square feet, my property goes all around.
Okay, is this staked out?
Yes.
Can we hold a vote?
It's not staked out on the plan, okay?
Can we
It's
hold a
100
vote?
square
Mr.
feet.
Chilson, can you let the rest of the council do their job and hold a vote, cause Mansell has a motion on the table?
What would you make, would you make a motion to what?
You did, to approve it,
To approve what?
my
For
fence.
application.
Your application, okay?
And the reason why I do it, I had a conversation.
Thank you, Hank.
Sounds like a vote.
Roll call vote? And this is, where's the fence going?
Literally this, the deck that wraps around the house like this, it goes just 8 feet here, here around, so there's a slope.
This is the front of the house.
Way up here.
Okay.
This is a deck that wraps around the house, it's gonna come 8 feet here, and where this driveway is here, it's gonna be 8 feet here, and just around, 100, it's like 100 square feet.
Okay, but you have no measure, this is over 15 feet.
I didn't know.
You know, fence don't
Was that
fence doesn't have to be 15 feet.
from the property line on Ryan Circle?
No.
What's
We're
the-
at a
what's the
roll
measurement?
call vote,
Roll
Mr.
call
Chilson.
vote.
We're actually in discussion.
No, he
After
said
you-
roll call vote.
After you make a motion, then you have discussion, am I
Yes.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
But technically.
And Lowe's is installing it.
Yes.
Okay, vinyl fence.
So that's your business.
How tall is the fence?
Not
Well, these are standard common fences, they're at Lowe's, what is it, 6 feet?
6 feet?
8 or 4 feet.
Yeah. Big dog.
Well, the only reason I'm saying that is it
So I
doesn't
guess
have,
you're not
it
getting it.
doesn't have the size of the fence on it.
Big dogs. Vinyl, just like these are prices.
That's fine.
Keep the dogs in.
Borough should have copies in front.
Right.
Chris told
Ask
me to
your
give
mayor
copies to.
The mayor has
for
the
the
copy.
10th time.
The
So,
mayor
do you
does.
mind if I make copies of these?
The mayor has them. Those
I
are my
said, you, I
originals.
didn't ask you, that. I
He's
said,
just
do you
not-
mind if I
okay.
make copies of these?
That's fine.
Okay. Roll call vote? Gordo, yes. Bob?
Yes.
Michelle. Absent.
I got here. Michelle, absent. Cleo?
Yes.
Cindy?
Yes.
Hank?
Yes.
Mansell?
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Motion pass, 6-0.
I'll hang on to those, and at the end of the meeting, you can make copies.
Oh,
Alright, so
go ahead,
where's,
that's fine.
where's the other one then?
The other one is,
And I have my papers back, so at the
yeah,
end of the
I'm
meeting.
looking for it, hang on.
Right there.
And now will you make copies of this, please? No.
Where's the other one?
Oh,
I don't know anything else.
this one here's got, this one here had a plot plan with it.
Who's that?
It shouldn't matter. but
Krista Keegan.
Where's the-
There's no application,
I don't know anything about that one. We just did hers.
because
The mayor
last,
took a picture of it. He has a picture of her application
Oh,
on
hers?
his phone. Yes,
Okay,
on
I
his
didn't know.
phone.
well, you told me you saw it.
Hers. I seen her on his
Krista,
phone.
my neighbor behind me.
I was there.
I know, okay, you're aware,
I was with Chris, we went to their house.
okay, but he didn't do this one at the same time.
Yes, he did.
Yes. And he said he'd give you all the paper.
No,
And you said he did, then he showed you on his phone that he did.
no, he hasn't
This is
showed
what he
me,
told
he
me. I
showed me
have no
0
idea.
on his phone.
That's what he told me.
Okay, well, we'll find out. Okay, but anyway, so we will return this one?
The phone's not,
I don't know.
Why don't you wait until, see if we can get a hold of her and get her stuff in
Or
here, if
call-
she's got it, or
we
get
go with
Chris.
Chris, yeah.
She
You said
has
Chris
it.
did it too?
Chris, yeah,
Same
Chris
day?
approved it the same day,
Okay.
yes.
He signed the application.
Yes, she has the plot diagram and everything, like versus the.
We
way-
got a plot plan, okay? But we got no application with it.
He took a picture of it on his phone for her. Like, he signed it and took a picture of it and gave it back, the hard
Why-
copy like what I have.
Why would he take a picture of it and give it back to her? He should be bringing it here for the borough to approve it.
You guys can hash that one out.
Yeah, maybe he
Yeah,
doesn't know
later.
that he's supposed to do that.
Well, he was gonna be here, but he didn't know about the meeting until
That's
today.
the challenge of why it doesn't get approved though.
Did anybody announce a reason for the change of the date for the meeting?
It was in the paper, I guess, that's
A
how.
reason for the
Oh,
change.
reason?
Say we table that one, 'cause we don't have.
They fell on.
Reason?
Yes, sir.
Reason, because it was more convenient for, the solicitor and more convenient for, Vicky.
No, that's Chris.
They had a previous engagement last night, correct?
Okay. Are they still got business to handle here? Well, you have an agenda, you wrote it, you should know if they still have business to attend to here. Cause unlike them, we're not being paid to be here for you to do your research and hold a meeting amongst yourselves.
Public comment?
I have a question, or just a comment. Bob, you mentioned that you got a quote for the fence over at the ball field. And again, I just want to state out loud that not soliciting for bids to the public puts the borough under absolute risk of being completely taken advantage of, just like the dike that Mayor Chris brought to us last time where he said the quote was astronomically high. You're not soliciting for bids, you should do that. You think you have $700,000 in excess money, you do not, that is a lie. Therefore, while you campaigned during your meeting last month, Mr. Chilson, do I need a microphone? Can you hear me okay?
I don't remember anyone.
I didn't ask
before.
any questions, I'm making comments, just like you said.
Okay, well, thank you for your
Not
comment.
soliciting bids leaves the borough open to be taken advantage of. Period.
They haven't solicited off the bids.
I think there's a
Oh yeah,
threshold.
where?
They
I think
have
there's-
not.
That's my point.
I think there's a threshold
We just got an
for
estimate.
a minimum that we have to take a bid on, it's around
Why don't you ask
13,000.
him, he's right behind me,
That's
he
what I'm
can
doing, I'm
probably
looking right
answer
at
that
him.
question.
Isn't the minimum threshold like 13,000?
Okay, then
Okay.
why do we have
So
to
if we
bid
get a
out
bid
the
at-
library?
Oh, so the road exactly was
bidding the library
$13,000
Why are we bidding the library out?
your road repair was exactly $13,000, so you
It was-
got to hire a friend to do it?
It was, I don't know the guy's name who did it, and he was under the threshold. He was under the threshold.
You know the guy.
Just like the guy who did the mulch,
We didn't put anything
just
out for
like the
bid for
guy
the
who
library.
quit the snow
Well, why are we
plow.
doing the mulch since you're sitting here? What are we doing
Well,
about the
we're
mulch?
approving, we're approving the material, that's all.
And the guy who
Then
sold
we
you
approve
property.
everything.
I make a motion to adjourn.
He's you're saying that we're asking about the mulch, but still open for comment. Sending things out for bid for the library.
If it's over the threshold. and
It's
you
not
can bid
over
it
You
for
can go in
13,000.
through the window, it's not, she said $4,000 at the most,
That's what I'm
$8,000 that she
missing.
has to
We
spend,
never-
so
we
why
never
are you
said it.
soliciting for that and not the
We're-
ball field?
We're not saying that anything has to be bid out.
Are
for
you
the library.
harassing Lucy in the library?
Oh my gosh, guys.
Oh,
That's exactly what it looks like. You want to comment? There you go. You're harassing Lucy in the library. With
You're
rules that
harassing
you
the borough
won't,
council.
with rules that
You
you
don't
will
even
not
live in the
hold
borough.
yourself
We don't need a
accountable to.
motion to adjourn.
We asked a question about the mulch before you said adjournment, since the solicitor's here, we'd like an answer. It's public comment, we're asking a question.
Dana
we don't
told
take,
us,
we don't have to answer anything.
Dana informed us that she contacted the solicitor about the mulch and we have never heard back because Dana has since left. And everyone would like to know if there's any action being taken.
So what you're saying is the town don't need to know nothing? If you don't want to
I'm
answer
just
it
telling you legally, we don't have to answer any questions.
legally.
Am I right?
This is why we got confused.
Wow.
So we're not allowed to make any type of comment at all, we're not allowed to ask.
We're giving you the opportunity twice tonight to make comments.
No, you give us the opportunity to make
There's
comment.
not an agenda
But
that you didn't
put on the
provide.
agenda and only what
Make
you
a
put on
motion
the
to
agenda.
adjourn.
I made a motion to adjourn.
Yeah, why don't you do that? Same thing you do every
Got a
month,
second?
so.
Are you gonna schedule a meeting
Second
in
by Bob.
between this and the next one, so we don't have to sit here for 2.5
Roll call vote,
hours
Hank?
to educate you?
Yes.
Cleo?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Gordy? Yes? Cindy?
Yes.
Yes.
And in all actuality, the lady is not a part of the council, so she shouldn't be sitting up there with you.
And if her business was done, she should have been out of here too.
Instead of us paying her. I'm glad you think it's so funny, Gordy. I hope this lawyer has decided that he figured out what you're really about.
I'm so tired of this shit. Because them people is in there getting paid to be here.
Yep.
And we're not. Wasting my damn time. I'm going down the ramp, I guess. That's right, Sharon. 6 more months. Joyce, chain link fence lane in the ball field. So I don't know because Bob solicited the bill personally himself. Shit, thank you.
You're more than welcome.
Appreciate it. Oh, I hope it got me loud and clear today. Alright guys, so for those of you who stuck around and came back and all that really lovely stuff, good night you guys, be careful everybody, always, you got it. Alright, I literally just grabbed my crap and ran. So you're gonna have to give me a second here. All right, dark, no lights, gonna get the tripod apart. I'm just gonna keep you guys with me here until I get all the way in my car. I hope everybody learned something tonight, and I'm getting it. Good luck, Lawrenceville residents. Yes, thanks, Keith. These guys need it. And you know what? I don't live here. Y'all know that. Y'all know I don't live here. Y'all know I'm even traveling to get here. And there's people in that room tonight getting paid so Mr. Chilson can get educated because he's spending time personally soliciting work instead of putting it out for the public or even having a discussion at a meeting, and then he wants to harass Lucy about what to be doing at the library. So, you know, always, Miss Cindy, thank you guys so much. Really, like I said, I couldn't do what I'm doing without your support. So, as always, I do have a PayPal. It's at Marigold Angie because I've had it for a long time. Because as you know, I did some streaming and filming stuff before this, so I'm still working on getting everything changed over to IONU Media, because it's a little bit of a process, but there's a little light. All right, and it is getting chilly. Check on your neighbors, guys. This air, it smelled like a bonfire all day. I don't want to lose my focus, so crazy. Thanks, Grace. You guys are awesome. You guys make me feel like I have cheerleaders in my pocket, and sometimes things just have to be said out loud and articulated in a way that Cleo and everyone can understand. So I appreciate y'all guys hanging around. Like I said, if you want to help out, things getting a little tighter with me coming a lot farther, but I'd love to see them start meeting and coming to the public monthly meetings a little more prepared with their information. A whole month apart, I mean, look at what we miss on information. Tons, absolutely tons of stuff. So, all right, check on your neighbors. Goofy with this air thing. Everyone took some pictures, and I'm sure we'll get to see them. Where did I hide my keys now? All right. I'm just waiting to get all the way in the car before I shut my stuff off. So, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, check on your pets. Make sure their water's clean. I know, I know here it's a little difficult, but thank a veteran. You get it. All right. Good night. Hey, don't forget what's on here. We have rights too. Good night, guys.